What's up, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of This Week in Madden Show 204T. That's a lot of shows, Gibbs.
A lot of T.
240 shows. We're making sure the mics are good. We're live. We're locked in. Let us know, Gibbs. This is what we're going over tonight. We've got Vegas last weekend. You have two tournaments this weekend. There's 4 total spots to go to the first Madden event, the Classic.
Yeah.
Skimbo's in from the first event, New York.
Yes.
We had Stevie J.
First one out. One of the first ones in.
There's only 2 spots left from challengers, and there's going to be 4 other spots coming in from different modes. But 2 spots left. One in El Paso, one in Philly. Any favorites? Any thoughts? We're going to talk a little bit more about it in a second, but just quick reactions.
Shout out to young Drenny.
Yeah?
Taking down a lot of competition out in Vegas. I watched the majority of the tournament. Played a lot of Madden this weekend, and I watched a lot of Madden this weekend at the same time. And Drenny looked good. What I really surprised was his pass-oriented offense. A lot of that bunch tight end, a lot of gun bunch. So, his passing performance was very impressive. In the competition, there was one of the best fields you could really ever kind of throw.
Tremendous field.
Everyone was there.
It's going to be even better with only 2 dudes still able to go still. So what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to cover the Vegas tournament a little bit. We're going to talk about the Seahawks and the Falcons, the best power-up players, playbooks, 3-4 Predator defense, cover 1 man, and then we're going to go over the Deuce close a little bit, which is an offensive formation, and then we're going to talk a little about the Bills' offensive playbook. So this is a little preview of what you'll be seeing tonight. We'll be mixing it up and showing you some different stuff. Let's jump into the mailbag here on This Week in Madden. Remember, you can watch live every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Gibbs, first question. What was the meta in the Vegas tournament from the weekend? What did you see? What did you like? Anything you didn't like? Obviously, Seahawks, Falcons were a huge part of the event, but mostly Seahawks, and why?
Yeah, if we're going to break down teams, Seahawks ultimately, because you're looking at your zone coverage guys, Thomas, you're looking at your big hitters, and Cam Chancellor, a great user. And
so let's see those guys on the screen there. Yeah, let's see. What was it? 3-4, a little bit of 4-4. Was it nickel?
First team, right? And then we'll get into formations. Like the Seahawks give you everything you need. You got a mobile quarterback, you got a big tight end for the red zone. And defensively, you got guys that can pass rush. This is a coverage game. That's the next thing to get into here, right? In terms of blitzing, we're seeing a lot of people run that skimbo nickel 3-5 odd. You're seeing people run a lot of problem, the nickel 3-5 normal. But primarily, what I took away from it was a lot of coverage. You're seeing a lot of cover 4, 3-4 drop show 2. You're seeing a lot of 3-5 normal cover 4. And when you are seeing aggressive blitzing, it's the whole tackle lock scenario, right? 3-4 odd flipped, tackle lock, right? So that's kind of
what's tackle lock?
It's where you're blitzing kind of the defensive outside linebackers, and they kind of shoot inside the innards of the tackle.
So they start out and they go B gap.
Yeah. So they're at depth and they shoot in the gaps, but. That's primarily what I'm seeing from these tournaments. I didn't see much of a shift in terms of meta on either side of the ball. Offensively, you saw a lot of single back tight slots, a lot of pitches, a lot of halfback pitches out in this weekend. But you saw a lot of deuce close, halfback whams. You saw a lot of deep posts here. You saw a lot of gun bunch. Not too much of a variety except for my guy, Shift God Cole. I think we're going to talk about that later. But we'll talk about what he was doing. A couple nuances that were kind of special to what he was doing defensively.
Yeah, when we get in, so we're talking about the Seahawks, talk a little about formations, we'll talk about a couple players, and we'll get into Shift God Cole, what he was up to. Obviously, Stevie J had the winner of the tournament, was great, and really good to see that Final Four with some youth in it.
Yep.
Okay,
just
so
change the settings here. That's all.
Change the settings up. And we'll cover what was going on in Vegas. Remember, you can ask your questions at the links below. All right, what do you got for me, Gibbs?
So just run the play real quick, just to...
Seal pitch.
What exactly you want to see here?
Just cover 4. Is it a Seahawks thing? Is it a coverage thing? Is it, that the run defense is good? Is it...
Well,
who are they using? What sets it apart? Why can't just anybody can call that and be better, But how does somebody call that all game and get good? Like, what is the key adjustment that they're making? What
The
are they
reason they're using the cover four is two things. One, your safeties play run support, and they actually play really great run support this year. What I'm seeing is this, to enhance your cover four, just a small little tidbit, is take your safeties, bring them up a little bit, get them in the fold a little bit. Right? You don't want them back. The further they're away, that's the longer it takes them to get into the action on a run. So I'm seeing a lot of guys drag them up, and it's not hurting your pass coverage deep, but you're getting them in the mix, and they're going to make a play quicker. The next thing I'm seeing is of why they're using cover four is the outside corners are doing a great job and also the deep safeties here are doing a great job of breaking on corner patterns, post patterns. So it makes it basically impossible to throw downfield. I mean, it's, for all intents and purposes, with a cover four shell with those deep zones, you cannot really throw downfield. So that's what's making it really difficult. There are ways to try and get there, but you see how that Sherman with great zone coverage, him and Earl Thomas, they give you that duo players, the only combo in the game right now. Pats did have it, but after the last update, Butler lost his zone coverage. So now you got the Seahawks. They're really one of the teams you kind of have to consider playing with if you're in a play now situation because you got Sherman and Earl Thomas. The break on those corners is why you're seeing guys use the Seahawks. The next thing about the cover four that's good about it is the versatility of the quarter flats. They're your best set it, forget it zones. If your opponent doesn't have the proper route concepts on the outside, those zones will lock you up because they'll play a lot of different things. So you definitely need to have the appropriate route combinations to slow them down. And then what I'm also seeing is, and you get into any type of 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 7, right, or more, you're getting this. You're getting a coverage audible down for hard flats, coverage audible up for cloud flats, and then you're rushing 3. You have the goons when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks. You have Averill and you have Bennett. They rush Averill, Bennett, and they rough off the edges, play coverage. Not a user on Wagner, but a user on Dewey McDonald, who comes in about 6'2", 6'3", 84 speed. A phenomenal user player on the defensive side of the ball for the Seahawks. And it just becomes an issue, right? Because you are now forced to just check down. And you can't really force the ball vertically downfield. So your best bang for your buck right now is a 3-man rush with a cover 4 shell and a cloud flat situation, because it is almost impossible to convert passes downfield unless you got a lot of crossing patterns that make things weird.
Yeah. So that's what we saw, and then that's scheme-wise, team-wise, player-wise. Who surprised you? Obviously, Shift God Cole. You talk a little bit about what he's doing. Make sure to go check out him on Twitter. It's Shift God Cole. I just had it up here, but it went. I'll find that for you. What are your thoughts on what those players were doing?
I'm never truly surprised. Being around the Madden world for almost over a decade now in the competitive scene, right? I'm never truly surprised. Just because, especially in an early season like this, yeah, you're gonna have your normal guys that do great, but there's always a newcomers that come out every single year. We always know Stevie J's good, but is this the year that the game kind of shifts and plays to a mold of what he's really great at? I don't know, but that's more so how I kind of consider it and look at it. I don't get shocked. I know these guys put the time in, the effort. And when you were watching those interviews, by the way, shout out to Millennial Esports for that great production, phenomenal production of that tournament. But the amount of time that these guys put in, right? They're all in a position in terms of the knowledge that they have, in terms of the schemes they have to win. It just comes down to execution in the moment, right? You heard AKG during his interviews, and one of the things when User was talking to him, he said, how many hours a day do you play Madden? And AKG just dead stared him right in the face and said, I play 10 hours a day. I play about 8 hours of just back and forth labbing with one of my buddies, and then I got 2 hours of maybe streaming or something, right? So these guys are playing Madden a ton. They're trying to become professionals in it, and again, it's cool to see. Great tournament, great competition, and that's what we're going to see throughout a lot of these tournaments.
All right, we're going to keep talking more and more about that. Stevie J is at I'm Stevie J. Shift God Cole is Lynch _Tolliver. So Lynch, like Marshawn Lynch _TOLIVER. Give those guys a follow. You'll keep seeing guys like that on the tournament scene. Good luck to everybody going to El Paso this weekend. There's still space in that one. And then a lot of people are going to Philly. That one's sold out. So keep an eye out for those streams this weekend. All right, let's go into our next question in the mailbag here. Gibs, we got some hype. Off of that, what playbooks do you expect to see in the first event? So the Madden Classic, which will be in play, they'll be head-to-head.
Mm-hmm.
So what playbooks would you expect to see at an event like that based off of what you've seen the first couple events?
Defensively, Bengals, Chiefs, Patriots. I think you're going to see that variety. I think you'll see a little bit of maybe Eagles. And I say that because someone might want to be like a 4-3 base and have a 4-4.
Mm-hmm.
But then those playbooks I sort of think defensively is what you'll see. Offensively, it's really, there's a lot of playbooks in the game that have deuce close.
Yeah.
So I think any playbook with deuce close could be a run for your money to see. I think any playbook with single back tight slots is a run to see. So tight slots, you got Bills, you got Saints, you got Jets, you got Patriots.
Yeah.
Those are the playbooks I think you'll see.
This
the
is
other
the
side-
Bengals on defense right here. For those
That's
don't know.
Baltimore.
We switched over to Baltimore.
Yeah,
Got it.
also Baltimore because it has 3-3-5 normal.
Yeah.
And also gives you 4-4. So Baltimore's a really good book as well. But and then I think offensively you'll see a lot of Miami and Seattle because I think people are going to want to see the bunch tight end. Bunch tight end's a good formation. And then again, any book that has gun bunch or split close. So you'll see a little bit of Arizona. You're going to see a little bit of the Patriots for the split close. So it's less and more about the books, but it's for on offense. And I guess even on defense, it's more about like what formations do I expect to see.
Right.
So if I reset the question there, I look to see the Bengals defense, but specifically for the nickel 3-5 normal,
Mm-hmm.
and then 46 normal. That's like why you choose to use the Bengals. The Ravens book, you're going to get it because they want the 3-5 normal and they want a 3-4 base, or they also want the 4-4. You're going to get the Patriots playbook because it's going to give you a hybrid of 3-4-4-3, but more specifically that Skimbo nickel 3-5 odd. And then you're going to take a look at the Chiefs because Chiefs gives you more 3-4 sets compared to the Ravens, and it also gives you the 3-5 normal as well. And it gives you that 3-4 bear that people like. So that's where I'm seeing those on the offense side of the ball. Gun split close, deuce close, single back tight slots, bunch tight end, gun bunch.
And like you said, you
gun
find
tight flex.
You find the deuce close. Bills, they have
Bills has tight slots.
and they have
Not
tight
deuce close.
slots.
They don't have tight.
They
deuce
don't
close.
have deuce close. Seattle has deuce close.
Miami deuce close. Houston,
Miami's
deuce
got
close.
it. Houston's
Titans-
got it.
Titans, deuce
Those
close.
also have gun bunch tight end. Does
Or ace close,
Seattle?
rather.
You've got some gun bunch strong books, and then you got your gun split close strong books. Patriots.
A little bit of gun tight
Arizona.
offset. Gun tight offset, which you got in Green Bay, you got in the Saints. A little bit of
Saints,
that.
Rams,
those two.
that type of thing kind of going on. Okay.
Rams no longer, unfortunately.
They lost it.
They lost it.
Sad.
Yeah, sad.
Sad. All right. Those are some playbooks you can expect to see at the Madden Classic. Still got guys competing to get in there. We'll see if Dubby gets in. You'll probably see Green Bay. Sugar seems saying the Jags book. You might see some 46 normal. We'll see, but you got to see who the players are that are getting in that are going to use these. Next question in the mailbag from Spackle. Gibbs, you talked a little bit about the Bills playbook before. What about a Bills offensive scheme if you had to build
Sure.
one?
I'll
What
show
would
you. I'll show you what I'm
would you
using
go
right
on?
now.
Let's see the goods.
Sure. I'll man the battle station here. That's cool.
Let's see the goods.
So I'm coming out in single back tight slots. I run it flipped, of course. I always like to run it flipped. We'll get to that in a minute. But I come out in primarily two plays: halfback pitch or deep post. So first we'll come out in the pitch. Guys, this is no surprise if you're if you're a veteran here to the game. If you're a great player in Madden 18, you're seeing a lot of halfback pitches and a lot of halfback dives from this set. That's for good reason. It's one of the best runs in the game. It's one of the best run combinations in the game. And the reason for it and what makes it so difficult is we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back old school. Ready?
All right.
Three-headed rushing attack.
Yes.
That's what this gives you, okay? And this is the foundation of pretty much all the tips we've ever done in the history of our tips, right? It all started with the three-headed rushing attack. And what the three-headed rushing attack is, it gives you the ability to attack your opponent with the run at 3 different points of the line of scrimmage. So with the halfback pitch to the right here, I can run off that right C gap.
Bam.
Right? Now, with a quick flip of X and then right trigger on my Xbox,
and then I can say I've had enough.
Right, you take it away. I can quickly flip this run to the left side with no butt pat. So I can playmaker, but see the butt pat?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna tell your opponent, oh, the run is going to the opposite
Even if you
way.
fake butt pat, it just gets weird.
Gets weird. It clues them in that you're probably running. It just gets weird. So now you can run off the left seat. Now then your run audible down is your interior run. So now you can attack your opponent at all different phases of the offensive lane in all different gaps, and they have to respect the running lanes in all of those areas. So it becomes really difficult to defend against. And now let me repeat this. This is the foundation of every offensive scheme that we ever teached back in the day. It all started with the three-headed rushing attack. It all started with that ability that sets the tone for your offense.
And the reason it started with the three-headed rushing attack back then, number one, running was amazing. You had great fidelity with the cuts on the left stick, like in Madden 25 with the run-free moves. You also could set your audibles. So
right.
You had the ability to come out in strong close in the quick toss, and then 2 of your audibles could be the counter, in the dive, or the off tackle. So nowadays, when you come out in a run and you press X to see your audibles, you can't set those, and you can only get the ones they give you. So to have a three-headed rushing attack is difficult because you usually don't have 2 other runs, or the formation's not balanced and you can't flip it. So that's what we like about this type of formation with the three-headed rushing attack. That's why it's changed, and that's why it's not really the base of the play quite as much anymore. But when you do get it, it's still great.
Well, so here's what is the importance of the three-headed rushing attack. When you have the three-headed rushing attack in your back pocket, what ends up happening is you always have the advantage when it comes to the run game. And here's the reason why. So if you take a look at the formation defensively right now, and we look at the box, you always want to get into a numbers counting game. So in this situation, if I take a look and I split this field into segments, right? This is the way we would break it down. Is there's segments. You have a C gap segment, you have your interior A and B gap segments, and then you have your outside right C segment. And when you break that up, you then want to then count defenders in that area. So put the middle linebacker where he was, right there, right over the middle. So let's count the left C gap segment. I want you to click onto the defenders off the left side. Okay, the left C gap, keep right in the middle. The left C gap, you start with Bennett. That's 1 defender. Click over to the next guy. That's 2 defenders. Next guy, that's 3 defenders. And the 4th guy is Thomas. There are 4 defenders in the left C gap quadrant of the field. Now let's go to the right side. What do we got here? We got 1 defender.
2, 3, 4, 5.
5. All right, simple math here, Farls. I know math is not your strong suit. I know you were a big history guy.
2 plus 2,
Big
5.
history guy. What is the difference of that math? Which is the better side to run on?
Carry the 1.
Yes.
Calculator app. Left side's better because there's less.
Less defenders.
5 is less than 4.
Okay, so less defenders. So let's take a look at our blockers.
Or, you know what I mean.
Okay, so here's the situation. We have 1 pulling guard, okay, a left tackle, that's part of the quadrant, but and a pulling guard because he's pulling, so he counts towards that left C gap. Then you have Gabriel and Jones, so that gives me 4 blockers to block that quadrant. How many defenders are over there?
That was the side with
4.
4.
Okay, so
4.
What does 4 offensive blockers versus 4 defensive players mean?
Equal sign.
Equal sign, which means hat on hat, which means now there's no extra defender to make a play on the ball carrier.
Hat on a hat.
Hat on
good.
a hat. You're looking good. Now, if I were to run the ball to the right side, what is the problem I get into, Farls? Can you break that down for me? 4 blockers.
4 blockers, 5 defenders. 5 is more than 4. Not a hat on a hat. Bad news bears. 1 tackler's free, and then that's bad.
Correct. Now, when you look in the middle of the field, I want to go halfback dive. Farls, count the interior defenders for me. How many we got?
1, 2.
We're going to also count the
3?
defensive linemen because they come into play here.
Okay.
So
1, 2, 3, 4. And by the way, I can easily scroll by holding down the B button, moving the left, and then once I hold down B, I can just move the left stick like wherever I want to go. And that's
right.
much faster than I just hold.
Now, the interesting thing here with Madden, the new version of Madden now, because you didn't used to have run fits, so it's a great thing that we have run fits now. Because the deep safeties come into play in these interior runs because they play up in the box with a run step first, right?
Yeah.
So now you have to account for the safety. So you can say there's 5 defenders in the immediate area in the middle of the field. You
You
got 5 offensive linemen.
4, 5, 6 almost.
So so this is why these interior runs are really good, right? Because you have that push in the middle of the field. It's hat on a hat. So what ends up happening is if your tackle takes the defensive end on the left, your guard takes Earl Thomas, your center takes the D tackle, your right guard takes right, and your right tackle takes the free safety or the strong safety. That leaves the defensive end on the right edge, in theory, unblocked. He's most likely not going to make a play on you. So that's how you want to look at running the ball, is always count the box. But that is the core foundation of what makes this play so good. So now when I kick this run off to the left, here it is. Now that was poor stick by me. Poor stick. You know how difficult it is to talk and explain at the same time?
Worse than poor, but
I know. It was
the points across. The points across.
But let's take a look at how this actually breaks down in action, right? So snap of the ball, terrible. So what do we say? Left tackle takes the D end, right? What
Yes.
happened? Left tackle took the D end.
Yes.
Julio Jones, he peels upfield. He actually kind of goes away.
I like that.
He peeled away, but he got the
Yeah.
safety. That's cool. So
Yeah.
that's one of the 4 guys. Now, Gabriel, he takes the other guy. And now 67's kicking to get to the outside corner.
Mhm.
Bad stick. I need to go wrap around him.
Yes. Yes.
So that's how that works. So let's take a look at this again. Now, you didn't move anyone this time.
Mm-mm.
Notice how the left side of the box has the extra
1,
support.
2, 3, 4, 5, and then I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right. So now I want to run off the right edge, okay?
Yeah.
So here, now run off the right edge, pitch it, get out, block, 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 block. There we go, interior, and now I get out wide and there's one defender. The blocker didn't fully get out there, but I still get a one-on-one on that guy, and if I can shake and bake him, I'm gone. Now, the one thing you can also do when it comes to the run game is you can add players to your blocking scheme to give you an advantage. So if I know on the right side I already have a numbers advantage with my blockers, or at least a hat and a hat, I can give myself an extra blocker, and that's what makes this halfback pitch so deadly. I can motion over Gabriel here. He'll run over on that side.
This
He'll
guy
set.
did not follow him.
He doesn't follow
so
him.
That's good.
So when they don't follow, that means I get the extra bonus in the run game. So now I get a +1 advantage. So that makes this run to the right side more deadly. Kick off that right edge. I get blocked. Bad stick. I'm not trying to have great stick here. I'm trying to explain it. Okay.
Sometimes I don't even have to try and have terrible stick. I just have great stick naturally. Like, I don't have to try. It just happens. Like, that's... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like...
I need to sit there and think about it, but better stick there. I got an 8-yard run. So, 6-yard run.
Bill's playbook here, breaking down how the run game works, how the three-headed rushing attack works, how you can, because it's a balanced set, quickly flip it, how you can go to the dive, how you can motion a guy over, get an extra blocker, how you can check your run fits on defense with a right trigger and then X and B. All these things are huge, important for running the ball, and you're going to see it in the Deuce close, which is like this, tight slots, but just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Any of these balanced formations, any of these balanced sets, crucial stuff here to learn if you want to become a better player.
Anytime you run the ball, you want to think in this way, but it's even more important when you want to implement a three-head rushing attack, because the strength of the three-head rushing attack is that you always take the run that gives you the best advantage. Now, there'll be times when players make amazing plays. There'll be times when your offensive lineman miss a block because of ratings. There'll be time when your opponent makes an amazing user play, shoots the gap,
they'll
and blows
scrape
you up.
or they'll guess the run, but also show the box, the green and red. You play art.
I can't. I don't think.
Art trigger right stick up.
I can't hear.
Okay,
because I'm not online.
So if you're online, it'll show you the box and how you should run it. That is usually correct, but it's not necessarily like...
Gives you some intel.
Yeah, the stretch, I try and find it. You should learn how to do the math yourself and just kind of try and figure it out. But this is a really good run to start. This is Bill's playbook. It's in the Saints as well. Is the pitch in the Saints?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in the Bills. It's in the Saints. Patriots, formation's a little wonky with quick audibles and plays, so careful there. And then you also find it in the Jets, and I think it's in one more, but it's escaping me right now. So, but that's the start and the foundation of this offense. You come out in the pitch, and then you have the pitch, the dive, a lot of different moving parts to run, and that's just the runs.
All right, we're going to end that right there because that's a very important tip to learn how to run the ball. We're going to go back in now to the mailbag, Gibs. Bill's offensive scheme.
Yep.
We're breaking it down right now on This Week in Madden. Bill's playbook. Remember, you can ask your questions. We're in this playbook. You just showed us the single back tight slots.
Yeah.
So you said you can come out in two plays.
Yeah.
Either
3 plays,
the
but 4
pitch,
plays.
which we just showed.
Pitch.
So go back and watch that. Or the deep post. So
Yeah.
we'll show you deep post. We just showed you how to run the pitch, but the pitch is generally you're gonna figure it out. So deep post from Bill's playbook. Give us a little breakdown.
So I like deep post, great play, one of the better base plays in the game. A lot of quick options. I like to run it flipped. We'll get to that again in a later part about when we audible from this set. But what I like about this play is you have a nice corner, you have a table route to the halfback, but most importantly, I think the most important route on this play is the route to B. This is a unique post. It's essentially a backbreaker route. And it can do a lot of damage to your opponent. Now, what's good about this is the fact that you can flip the formation and they never know. So you can run the post off to Sanu on the right, and then they're going to go try and user it, and the next thing you know, you run it off the left side. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes this completely difficult to defend. Now, the next thing you have here, like I said, is a table out to the halfback, right? This table pattern, obviously you're in a curl flat there, which is fine, but if your opponent does play cloud flats, they blitz, they leave that open, it's always an option.
There you go.
And here's the example here.
Just actually was going between hard flat and curl flat.
That's fine.
Going for you.
So there's the table pattern right there. It's going to be most effective for you when you face cloud flat. So when that is good is if you face someone that plays Tampa 2 on the outside, this route actually becomes really effective for you in that short flat. You break a tackle there, but by default, it's about a 4 or 5 yard gain, just dumping it off. And what's good, again, you can make them respect both parts of the field here. They have to respect both sides.
That's a purple, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they have to respect both sides of the field with that table pattern. Now, you can run this play stock and not make adjustments because you have a quick drag to Jones. Then you change the depth of another pattern that is like a levels concept with Hooper. So the idea here is this. They jump to the drag, they leave that open behind it, right? So that's the thought process. And what's good about the flow of these routes is there's a progression. And here's the progression. In this instance, when Farls jumps to the drag, he can't recover to the post. He can recover with good stick to the Hooper route.
Yes.
But because he jumps to the drag first, he cannot get to the post. The post is just, he's gone at this point. It's too far. He'd have to completely, it becomes too difficult to get back and get depth on that.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
Now, vice versa is the following. If you bail and go to the post, you're going to now not be able to get to the drag, right? So you didn't bail and go to the post.
I was going to the in, then
Sure.
the post.
But if you bail and go to the post, you can then, if you play
it's
at
hard
depth,
for me to talk and have bad stick.
Yeah, I gotcha. If you bail and go to the post, and then you can recover and get to the deep in, but you're going to have a very difficult time to recover and get to this drag pattern here. You might be able to get a hit stick coming down, but to take it away and make a user play on it, it makes it difficult. So there's a progression here of where you watch their user go, you go to that next level that they can't get to, and that's what makes it difficult. And you can, again, don't forget, you can flip it here, so they start thinking one thing, and then you got it behind in there. You can see how much space.
And that's a killer. Anytime you give up that route, man. That's a unique route, but that area of the field, that throw, that thing, it's like you can see it coming right before they throw it. You just go, I just gave up 18 yards. Mm-hmm. That kills you.
Right. Next thing I have off this, I like to, if I do make an adjustment, drag Hooper in this instance here. Then you run a mesh off this, right? So now you're making them respect both sides. Right there, that's a tough read for you to make. Who are you going to go to? You went to the wrong guy, I throw the open receiver. There is wiggle room to throw in this corner pattern if there are no cloud flats on the field, even against the cover 4. If you throw this to the sideline, that was a bad low pass. But if you throw it to the sideline, you can get that to get mixed in towards that sideline. You're so good, dude. Congratulations.
Zfarls Play of the Day nominee.
Yeah? But here's, again, one more time. You don't have to change your zones or anything. But you can see what happens on this corner. What's different when you're out in a spread alignment, the safeties or the corners are more aligned with the receivers. But because they're out wide, watch what happens on this break. He's out wide, so the corner's going to cut in, and then his back gets turned right there. So now his back is turned. That now allows me to throw that open because, look, his hips are the wrong way. He can't get there in time, so that's why that corner can be thrown, even against a cover 4, even against a guy with 90-plus zone coverage, 91-plus zone coverage. Doesn't matter. What ends up happening is his hips are turned. When his hips turn, in that instance there, I can fit that in. It doesn't matter zone coverage. So it's because the physics of his hips turning do not allow him to get there, and that works on both sides of the ball. Now, we'll say your timing needs to be impeccable.
Yeah,
you can't throw late.
In Hoopers,
you can't throw late. And right there, see his hips didn't turn?
And that's also Sherman.
It's also
Sherman.
But his hips don't turn. Hips don't lie, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, these are all really good plays to mix in. Something that you can also consider to do here is to use motion with what you're running, right? So if you motion with the pitch, right, you can get a great flow by motioning over this corner.
Yeah, then I think it's the pitch.
Right, you think it's the pitch, but now my route progression is fantastic. I have 2 posts that makes it really difficult for you to defend, right? So watch, post number 1 is the corner that goes first. Post number 2 comes in behind it. So it becomes a great route combo there that is really difficult to defend because they better man up one guy, they better go to the other post, and then you leave the underneath stuff open, right? So that's the idea and the process of why you use the motion. Mimic your pitch with it, and then throw open your receiver, right? So that's the main understanding of how I run this pass play. Now, you can run a halfback wheel. I don't love running it.
Some people do.
Some people do. I'm not there yet with it. I've only been running this scheme for a week. I'm not there with it yet. But what I do love is this PA shot post. Now, give me a cover 3, Farls. You get cover 3, you get cover 2s, you get all this coverage. What I can tell you is that there is a opening. Now, Earl Thomas might be a problem here because of how good his coverage is. But you have a chance at one play touchdown to get over the top of the defense with the right receivers, the right mix on the field with this deep post, and you need a big quarterback arm. That's a bad pass lead. Earl Thomas is going to help combat against that throw. But with this PA post shot, the way you run this, and this isn't a given every single time, right? It's you try it and see if it works. So, for example, if I want to take a shot deep, this is one of my best options. So you go to that cover 3. What you want is in combination with the post to Sanu, you want to out pattern on the opposite side. I like to smart route them. Then on that, I like to just have a drag, but most importantly, it's that route to Jones and the deep post. And that creates a little canale for you because right there, and now I just got to chuck it. And then now you can see how you can have a lot of success. Now, Earl Thomas there, not your Earl Thomas opposed to the Cam Chancellor. Mm-hmm. That's the difference there. But that's how you can get it. You need time in the pocket. Like if I were to just put everyone on routes, I get into trouble. You get into trouble real quick because there's a lot of block shedding. So I need time in the pocket here. You need a good throw see that time I didn't get the great throw, and you can see how Earl Thomas plays it better there, and that's where it's not always effective, but it is a great way to get the ball vertically downfield and try to create a little canale down there. And it's a way I like to try and attack vertically against a lot of these coverage defense you're seeing.
Good play, good shot downfield. So that's the single back tight slots. You mentioned halfback wheel. We can skip over that for now. We've shown it a bit. Anything crazy you do from halfback wheel before we jump into what else you like to do?
There's a lot of similarities with halfback wheel to the deep post. So that's why I'm not there yet with it. I need
to show the art on it.
I need to jump in and start running a little bit, but a lot of similarities with the routes and how it works.
Okay.
And here's my point, right? I think the deep post route on the deep post is a better route than the post on halfback wheel. And the thing is this. The reason you call halfback wheel is because it has that post, right? It's unique. The reason you call the deep post is it's got a post and it's also got a table route. So there's kind of a two beneficial system of what makes deep post a better play.
Yes.
They both have corners. They both got deep ins and drags, right? So you remember that. So there's two advantageous routes to calling deep post opposed to one advantageous route with halfback wheel.
All right, so that's your base setups from the Bills playbook for single back tight slots.
Yep.
Now, what else do you add onto this scheme, sprinkle in here as you run this thing?
So what I've been running is taking single back tight slots and then audibling up into gun bunch quads. So I empty it. I go empty, and I haven't had a problem. I went on a 20-game win streak, got all the way to all Madden first string, running this offense this past weekend. And I've had a lot of success with it. Now, I ran into a little hiccup yesterday facing some Tampa 2, and I'm still labbing it, figuring it out. But primarily, I really like this. I love bunch. We all know that. So I also love bunch on the left side of the field. So when you remember, why are you coming out in the play flipped? Well, I'm coming out in the play flipped because I want the bunch on the left side of the field. So the reason I like this, so you take a look at the play. The quick audibles from Gun Bunch Quads by default are phenomenal. They might be the best quick audibles in all of Madden 18.
What about Patriots slot offset?
Very good. They're very good. The Patriots quick audible up, not good. The quick audible up here
Spot.
is very good. So let's take a look at the quick audible. So you got Z spot. So you got a backbreaker out to Freeman on the right side of the field.
Do you find that that's okay? Like, who's a good mutt player to put where Freeman is? Because it's a halfback. You know what I mean?
You want like a
That's the
David
route.
Johnson type. You want a LaDainian Tomlinson. A lot of those masters that guys have. Any version of that Tomlinson will be good. You want a pass catching guy.
It's not a Bo
to fill that
Jackson
role.
thing.
Not a Bo Jackson. No, it's not an Adrian Peterson role. It's a pass catching guy. I would tell you that the best guy for it, most likely that you can probably go out and get. It's going to be a guy like David Johnson.
Ty Montgomery?
He's hard. Ty Montgomery's going to fit the mold.
Might get it done a little bit for you.
He will fit the mold.
Could be a little taller, but that's fine.
He's 6 feet tall.
Okay.
That's very good.
That's very good.
So Ty Montgomery could fit this mold really well. So quick audible up his spot. Quick audible down, underrated, quick QB draw. So a mobile quarterback here. You're gonna get a lot of coverage. So if they pass commit, you quarterback draw, and it's
Give me one.
It works really well. Pro tip: I sort of let the quarterback
run on his own,
organically go. It's a little pro tip that we call in the biz, little finessing right there. I'll let the quarterback do his thing. So
you have terrible stick.
that's not true. So next, now we went over that. Now let's take a look at inside post. All right, this is tremendous flow. Okay, I have that route to Sanu, one of the best routes in the game. The A route, one of the best routes in the game.
Yes.
It's behind that tender space on the right side.
We've shown why that, because you're going to get behind, if they play this.
You get behind it.
Yeah, you're going to throw right in the 40-yard line where Richard Sherman is standing.
Yep.
That you're going to complete that pass right over there on the sideline between these two guys coming across.
Yep, and then take a look at that post to Jones. It's that weird stem post again. So now you got a great route behind it that they have to worry about. So you got a lot of great route progression. Now the last play is bunch trail. Okay, we get that deep post to Gabriel for the cover 2 beater. That's what we love, right?
It's a good one.
Split the defense. That's what we like about that. Now you have a deep corner to Sanu. And then what I absolutely love what this scheme brings to the table is you have all this action on the left side of the field with the quads. And then
Spanish for 4.
Yeah, and then
Quadro.
And then you have an ISO receiver on the right side of the field. The ISO receiver, I think personally here, is the tone setter. And here's why I say that. In this instance, you have 3 defenders that are all sense of purpose. As I look at this and I go, okay, those are 3 resources on the right side of the field. I'm not going to use Freeman at this point to do anything on the right side of the field. Now, if you were to take Chancellor, slide him in the box, there's some defenses that are like this. Now, if you take the other defender, Garvin, move him inside. Now, if I see that alignment, I'm going to say it's very difficult for those guys to get out wide to defend Freeman. So the tone setter for me is identify the right side of the field. Do I see a matchup where a smart routed out is going to be a victory for me? Because even if you have a buzz zone out there with cloud flats, 90% of the time,
he won't run
he
all the way
cannot get out there. He'll be in the vicinity, but when the halfback makes his break to the sideline, he struggles to beat there and get there. So right there, that was not a great route. That wasn't a great. He didn't get the throw towards the sideline, but we're gonna go back one more time. But I still was able to complete it. So here's again. Leave him where it is. No. You don't have to move inside. That's right where he's good. He was good. So here it is, right? Now, if you're in a cover 2, I obviously wouldn't throw it.
Yeah,
but
in cover 4, baseline.
So here it is. So you get the press, he gets the sideline, and then as you can see, you can still fit that route in. So that's what I like about it. Okay. So if you need to identify, okay, do I have an option to throw that out pattern on the right side of the field? Now next, if you don't have that option, if you don't have that, feel confident in that out, then the way I set this play up, bunch trail. I like to place the outside receiver Freeman, the halfback, put him on an in. I take Sanu, I drag him. I know you might say, well, he's already on a drag. Well, he's not on a standard drag. He's on like a stop and go drag. I want him on
Julio.
RB.
Yes.
I played him on a drag.
Okay.
You didn't do anything to your defense, correct? So this is what I like about this play, is when your opponent runs soft squats or if they run quarters flats, this defense opens up the corner route. It forces your opponent to play cloud flats or hard flats, curl flats. It takes them out of these quarter flats and it takes them out of soft squats because you're messing with their match man system.
Which are 2 popular defenses.
You're messing with their match man system because you're changing the alignment of the defense. So it's going to take them a minute to hang on to that, right? So you now force man situations and you open up the corner out to be wide open. Wide open. I cannot stress how important that is. Because you're changing up the alignment of the formation, that changes up what those quarter flats and those guys with those assignments will be, right? So here it is again. You can see we get match man on the outside. He then runs with the with the angle. We leave that corner route wide.
I've not seen a corner route that wide open in some time. Not
so
since like Boogs was throwing just dots.
Now do this for me. Go to cover 2 out of this formation.
Okay.
And just put soft squats on the outside. Like hot route him in.
Gotta go over.
Yeah. Let me see what you got.
Boys, soft squat.
Let me see what you got. Show it to me. Okay, soft squats. And just put the guy, the middle linebacker in deep zone. So, what you're going to see here, you got a base line. There you go.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the answer to a question that somebody asked
I got
earlier.
you. Yeah, I got you. When that happens, you got a base line. A little pro tip from right there. So, now, when you get the soft squats, same scenario, right? You're going to force a situation on them, right? So, here it is. Run the drags, run the drags, run the drags. And then you can get that corner pattern because the post pulls him inside. You get a little match man on the outside. He then converts back to zone. And that's where you see how you can open it up. Now, the problem you will run into is if you get cloud flats, if you get that Tampa 2 from just this 3-5, and it's just standard cloud flats, it can get you, it can cause some problems. And that's what you got to watch out for. You got to get the ball out quick. You got to throw these underneath patterns. But that's why we create a little mesh here, little levels with Jones and Freeman. So I throw this here. You're going to see I can't throw the corner because the cloud flat will drop. I can't throw the post because the middle linebacker is dropping, so I get into an issue there. Now, that's just to show you those plays. Now, if you were to just stay in a cover 2 with no deep safety over the middle of the field, okay, or middle linebacker rather, sorry. We'll go here. What you want to try and target, well, what I like about this too is you can max protect, block your tight end, and you got good pass protection. So it actually does a great job at slowing down the meta, which is a blitz off that edge. So if you have that, as I say that, he comes screaming, right? In most cases, I've found that it works extremely well. So, bunch trail. That's just classic practice.
Classic.
It's classic talking dog. It's crazy. So here's one more time. You want to try and split the safeties here, just like you had from bunch trail out of the gun bunch. Now you can see the safety converge are playing better now.
There's two really good safeties,
right?
Yeah.
But that's the area you want to target with a deep ball there. Now you can also make that be more beneficial for you by running Freeman on a vertical there, and that will keep Chancellor a little at bay off that right side of the field to open up that post for you a little bit more, right? So if you get this here, you can see how Chancellor.
Oh yeah, much more.
So if you keep him at bay with an outside fade, that will split out the deep safeties, make that middle of the throw much better.
And that play is, so you press X, so you come out always in the single back, but you go to the bunch quads, which is to the left too. So you press X,
twice.
You go left twice.
That's what's good. You can get to it quick.
And then you call the play bunch trail.
Yep.
And that's
my base play.
Some setups there, some base play to go when you go up to bunch quads from this.
So the way I run this is very similar to my base setup is this, right? I do those setups I just showed you that because those are specific to the meta, what we're seeing. But my base setup is eerily similar to gun bunch week. Okay, so that's the way I run the play. I'll put Jones on an out. I put Freeman on an out, and depending on the situation, I'll smart route Freeman or I'll leave him on a stock out like that. Guess what? I motion Jones out. Look familiar? If they aren't in a situation where they got a hard flat, guess who I can throw to? I can throw to that out pattern. So now you're forcing the hard flat. Mm-hmm. You're forcing it, right? So now what ends up happening is you're forcing the hard flat. You then force the Mabel because now they're always worried about that. They don't know if I'm going to motion Jones left or right. That's the problem they end up getting into, right? So now you're forced like a Mabel on that side. You're starting to open up resources. They know I can now attack you vertically here. It becomes to be a really difficult formation to defend against. That really opens up right there. You usered that, and you still weren't able to get there and make a play. So really difficult to defend. Now you also have the other passing plays that become really effective, right? So inside post, I really like this play. I like this play a lot. So my base setup here, drag Hooper, tight end, in Gabriel. So I get that flow. I love the drag and in combo flow, right? So I have Freeman to pull the zones vertically downfield on the right side. Mm-hmm. And then I want to have my drag route to be my quick hitter. He's open. But then you can see how that opens up.
That's the killer, man.
That's the killer. Cover 4 beater, cloud flat beater. That's the route you want to go to. Now, a great user is going to know that. They're going to pick up on that. So you got to keep your play call versatile. You got to keep it changing and going.
I know, but I don't want. Trust me, I don't want to get beat by, the deep middle.
Right.
At all. But I know I'll eventually be on.
Even go to cloud flats. That's what I want to show you. Go cloud flats out of this, right? So that's actually kind of tough right there. If you put your middle linebacker there.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's
a little
kind
much.
of good though, right? Maybe it could be the next move. But let's take a look. I want to show you this here. So here's your cloud flats, right? Well, guess what? I can still smuggle that route in there behind him, right? Because of the depth of that defender, he's still kind of paying attention to the drag a little bit. That opens that up.
I want to state for the record, I could have picked that, but I know you were showing an example.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, the next thing I want to show here is this. If you do get off of inside post, if this is a simple idea, a simple concept, but if you do get this, right, and you're in cloud flats, that's fine. I don't care what you're in. I actually really like the stock curl flat concept on this play. So Gabriel and Hooper. It's a really specific thing, but cloud flats are really difficult this year.
On the left there.
Yeah.
Yep, just basic curl flat. One of the most simple things that there is
Don't do anything. It's actually, you don't do anything with the play by default. It's just what this play is, right?
And you want to leave it because that route on the left is special. It's not just a curl that you put. You see he's got it inside. Yeah, it's an option curl.
So if he gets man, he runs the route, the yellow you see, but there's also a faded yellow route, and that's the zone route.
Yeah. So
here's what happens. If you play that cloud flat, that's going to always consistently give me a quick option to that short flat. And what ends up happening is a lot of people are leaving at a cover 3, they're leaving curl flats on, like a 4-6 normal or 4-3 or 4-4 cover 3. So what's happening is they're leaving those curl flats. They're trying to get the bang for the buck out of it. What ends up happening is if you go ahead and run this bunch trail or bunch quads inside post, you read that defender, you force him to go to that defender there on the curl because he plays curl first, leaves flat open. Now that's wide open, right? So that's what I like about it. It's versatile. It's just a different way to attack them in a force 2 zones in that area on the field. Now the last play there is spot. Now what you can do with this
C spot run.
So really, you kind of have the same routes on this play, but what you want is you want to use Freeman to just change the big play up a little bit, right?
Right.
So they're going to be always worried about the game.
Yeah, they're going to be so worried about this side of the field. Like, if I was facing this, there's a chance I would even,
use the deep.
Yeah, I would use this guy or this guy and just only pay attention over here.
Right, but the thought is this: if you want, it's a specific play. So this is like, hey, I've hit him over the middle of the field on with the deep post to Gabriel 3 times this game. I'm going to change it up and go to Freeman this time, just because they're going to be a slow stepper and their user to where they go.
Yeah.
But the base idea is keep Sanu here. You're going to run on a corner. I don't hate put him on a vertical here. And then I like this. I like a drag to Hooper, and I like a drag to Jones. And then I just run this right here. I run a mesh underneath, a couple verticals, downfield. Can I throw one of those open? And I throw a low ball, and you can fit it into your halfback underneath the zone defense, right? So that's primarily how I run that. Now you can also go to spot, and you can do the same thing where you motion out Jones to the left here. So I could run this vertically here. I could run Hooper on a drag, and I can run Jones in the seam, right? So I motion Jones over. I got a drag to look at. I got RB to look at, and then I can come back to the post. So it's pretty good route progression right there.
Solid.
As you can see, it's difficult to defend. And the last thing I want to talk about here is something that Zan kind of brought up this weekend. Is about the effectiveness of target passing. And it's something I'm messing with, I'm working with. I'm not seeing a ton of people using it. Now, what I'm noticing is, I don't care what your zone coverage is. I don't care how good that zone defender is. I'm noticing when you use target passing, you can fit throws in somewhat of what we remember Z-spot posts and posts from years past look like. The defenders aren't breaking as quickly on the throws, right? They break, but they're not as quick to break with the target passing. Now, don't know. Don't know why. Don't know if it's even a real thing. It's just kind of what I'm noticing. But what I feel on this is this route combination to Gabriel on the post in combo with Sanu on the corner, that can allow me to target pass, and I can see which one I want to throw to, and I can quickly get to the next one. So what I mean by that is this. I drop back, target pass activated. I then can move I can then move. See how the zone defender didn't really do anything? I can then move the icon quickly over to the corner receiver. So let's go one more time.
So this is L trigger after the snap. It's target passing, new mechanic, Madden 18. It's
Skill gap.
really tough to use, but you're saying this is a little option that you have. You press L trigger to activate it.
Like, that was terrible. I don't know why I kept going with left stick. It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Let's go one more time.
So who are you activating the thing on? On X?
Yeah, on X right there. I don't know why I went to the corner.
It's going to like the middle, yeah.
Yeah, so let's go here. Let's go here.
Are you hit? Yeah.
That time that's not. See, I'm not. That time I held down left trigger.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I threw about 15 of these balls or 20 of these balls over the weekend, and I probably had about 8 picks. But the ones I converted were crispy and buttery, right? So I think
Feels good.
I think there's something there. I think it's something for people to try and to work with. I think it's a feature that is people are sort of like, I'm not using it. And I actually had that mentality. I was like, I don't need it. Right? But I've seen a glimmer of hope.
Threw 8 picks in one game, so.
You did?
Yeah.
What, using it?
I won.
Oh, you did? That's good. But I see a glimmer of hope with this. I think it could be something that's really effective, right? So, I don't know why it's
I don't
know why it's going over to him.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to redo it. Hold on, maybe because by default the play flipped. Like, maybe that's why. I was running it like this though, so that's what's weird. So let's go here. Let's drop back. That time. See, and then I can fit it in. Now I need to throw that closer to the sideline.
Yeah.
But the idea is you can
you're throwing it to the wrong receiver?
No.
So you have it active.
I just turn it on and then you can move it all around the field.
Why don't you just change it to him before the snap, the corner?
Because I don't know who I want to throw it to.
Yeah, but I mean, generally though. Like,
No, not generally. I could want to go there.
Isn't that an inaccurate pass though? Because it thinks you want to throw it to him.
I don't think so. I think it's anybody. I think you go to anybody.
Maybe that's the workaround. Maybe that's why they're not reacting. If they think, I don't think they would think that, but you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because it should be on X, because X is before the snap, but it seems to be going to B.
I don't know. I don't know why at the start there it's going here. When I was playing this weekend, it was on the opposite. Let me just flip it.
So this is kind of the last piece to the Bills using this potential tactic on a play like this to see if you can mix it up.
Yeah, I think it's because see that? See what happened there? See how he didn't do anything?
And Sherman was breaking on those earlier.
But see how he got there, but he didn't do anything. It might be because it's flipped. But I didn't have that happen when I was playing this weekend. One more time. Let me try one more time. What I don't like about this is you don't want your post guy to always be your halfback. He's not going to hang on to it.
Bad, yeah.
So.
All right, something to explore, but that's the Bills playbook breakdown. Make sure to check it out over on the game. We broke down that first run play that we use, and then you got all the audibles, all those plays, so try that out. Pretty good against the meta. Gibs went on quite the nice run with it, so make sure to do it.
Big streak.
All right, let's go through our next question in the mailbag, Gibs. We got to make up some time here.
Okay.
How should I be base aligning my zones? This is an easy one from Steeltown. So, base aligning your zones. I got this question on Twitter a couple times. So come out in a compressed, or come out in any set, bunch quads maybe. When you base align and you press, you want to make sure that your defenders are aligning right. So the question is, how should I be base aligning my zones? And I understand why people are asking this question. So if I base align and press, which is what people do before like almost every snap, sometimes you see how he's not like quite aligned, or sometimes he'll align like this, and he'll be inside, and then players just streak Freeman, and then they get a free touchdown. If you just base align and press again, they go and reset and align perfectly. So that's all you have to do. That's how you should be base aligning and pressing. You really should only be base aligning and pressing one time per play, but we'll do it again here. Once per play, but then if you look out wide and you see, oh, my guys are kind of aligned like strange, so baseline press. And you can see he's a little bit weirdly lined up, but it'll sometimes, depending on the formation, depending on like hurry up, depending on all kinds of different factors, they could line up even goofier. But just baseline and press again, and they'll get realigned automatically. Especially if you're doing certain blitz setups, work on that. That's how you should be baseline and pressing. You got any thoughts to add to that?
Nope, that was good.
Cool. Next question is from Krog. He wants to know, Gibs, is there any way to double team a wide receiver besides manually doing it before a play? So is there anything you can do to kind of double team a receiver before the play? They used to have plays in the game called like double X, double Y, and it would just literally put an extra line.
I don't know if there's any plays by default that do that.
There's no coaching adjustment that does it either. Not like in like NBA Live where you could like double team every time LeBron gets the ball. So what he's saying is, you kind of gotta wait, press up A, and this is like technically a double team on Hooper. Although, if you thought Hooper was gonna run a corner and you said, I want to double team Hooper, he's gonna run a corner. Does this make sense, or does it just make sense to be like, I'm gonna do that?
The cloud flat. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about double teaming players in Madden? Is that something that just people that watch football say, we got to double team Julio Jones this weekend?
Well,
he's beating me with slants, or would you just go like this? And is this better to double team Julio if you think he's running a slant, or is that better to double team Julio?
There's two camps, I would say, right? It's this, like, so if you, in theory, putting two defenders near a receiver is going to get you a better chance of like breaking the pass up, because you got a better two defenders. It's going to be harder, like,
totally,
in that equation, right? So in theory it's sound, because if I put two man up guys on,
run a
there's
slant,
two guys.
see what happens with them two guys manned up.
But in theory, two guys on them, they should make a play. I mean, he's there, you got a better chance. Like, he actually got there and he broke the ball up, right? So I like that. I like it it's a sound strategy, but I think for the practicality of Madden, I think there's better ways to do it. Like you said, like if you're really worried about that slant right there, or if you're really worried about like a drag to Jones just crushing you, I would be like, okay, dude, put the linebacker that's rushing on the flat zone, like a hard flat, on the other side.
Okay, hang on 1 second. All right, say that again. You want this linebacker?
No, I want the rushing linebacker. Yeah, Garvin.
On a hard
flat. I would tell you, this is how you double team him. Like, I'd say this is how you double team him, because the drag might get open at first, but then there's after that window where it gets open and they're late on it, he then runs into the flat, and now he's double teamed.
Right.
Now for all intents and purposes, he's double teamed.
But then that requires you to know what route he's potentially running, because if you do a hard flat to him and then he runs a streak, it doesn't really matter, right? The other thing you can do is you can press Y. You can press A. That lets you see all the receivers. You then would pick Julio Jones, and then you press Spotlight Receiver. Now, what does that do? There's a lot of theories. It does generally have the defense keep an eye on Julio a little bit extra, especially these zone guys. The other thing you can do is you could shade your coverage on a certain guy.
Shading works a little bit.
But then once again, you got to kind of be guessing where he's going. But you could always just do the Spotlight Receiver and see if that gives you more. It's not technically a double team. It's not technically like just putting Thomas there or whatever, manned up against him, but that's something else you can go for. So no real way to do it. No, the coaching adjustments, you could do best or fastest. You'd find a way to get Sherman always on Julio, but in game you go to coaching adjustments in the play call menu, you back out, go to play call, you put best overall. That at least gets you your best defender over there. All right, let's go to the next question in the mailbag. This one is from John Locke.
John Locke.
Great guy, been watching a lot of Thief streams, and he's a fan of Lost, clearly. Best way to attack 3-4, cover 3. He's been facing it quite a bit this weekend.
Sure.
You got a play you like for 3-4.
I got a play, but I'm going to give you not necessarily a concept, but a route that's going to be really beneficial for you. So if you remember what we were just talking about, the gun bunch quads, the route you want to target is this play in inside post. So we'll go into it real quick. You want to target these routes that look like the Gabriel route. So get rid of your coverage. See Gabriel in block Hooper? Gabriel is running that that stem,
deep
that vertical,
crosser.
Deep crosser.
Yeah.
That's the route that is like your best friend. Because the reason for it is it allows zones to drift if you run route combinations with them, which then can open things up. So like there's a vertical area right there. That was terrible on my part, but it allows that space for him to get behind the zone, because he's coming in, he's a deep cross, and he runs it late. I don't love the positioning in Gabriel on this one. I'll show you an actual play that's a little bit better for that cover 3, opposed to I like that one for cover 4 and cover 2 sync. But play like this, if I go to doubles weak and I go to double post, right? So double post gives me that to the tight end. So because he's in a 3-point stance, he's a little bit more delayed off the line of scrimmage and a little more traffic on that right side of the field. So if I just run something like this, put Freeman out, what happens is I get that cross, and right there, that deep cross, was he in a cloud flat or curl flat?
He was in a curl flat.
Gotcha. So if he's in a curl flat, I should dump down underneath the Freeman in that instance right there. So right here, I thought he was going to be...
That he's going to drop down
so
eventually.
What ends up happening there is you run Freeman underneath. You have that vertical stem down on the side of the field to Hooper right here. If they do run underneath hard flats right there, I need to throw that, but you can see it opens.
A gets open, yeah.
So the late cross, the late deep cross helps to get receivers open towards the sideline. The same thing opens here to Gabriel on the right side.
Super deep corner route, like curl flat corner. Is that something that works against cover 3, or not as much? Like a curl flat corner from like gun bunch.
It does, not since the patch, because you can't throw it open as much. But like right there, that deep post is the next route I want to talk about, right? So. Yeah. These deep posts, you can get receivers open, right? But you have to run the appropriate vertical scheme. I think a great way to open receivers in this year's game is verticals on the outside. That pulls deep safeties and deep corners away. We have a lot of time tendencies to put guys on drags to open things up. But in this case, fade Jones. And if you drag Sanu, get time in the pocket here, what you're looking for is that vertical to pull him away. Then there's a canale right there to throw underneath to your receiver. So the same thing can apply on the right side of the field to get Hooper and Freeman on the right side open, right? So I have Hooper right there. I can't go to him because the curl flat goes to the curl first, takes him away, and then I dump underneath. But the verticals on the outside help pull all those deep corners and safeties away. And then you want to look for these deep crossing patterns. One of the reasons people use that gun tight flex so much, the Joel scheme, you could call it, right? It's because it's in a compressed set, and these guys are running all these routes bunched together, but these are all the same routes. Like, take a look at the routes on this play. Memorize them here. Now, if I go to this wing tight, right here, I go to this wing tight, take a look at PA double post. I'm gonna call this play. It's virtually the same routes, but just from a different formation, different alignment, right? So now I got the deep post, I got that deep angle to the tight end. So there's a lot that's kind of going on, right? So those are the routes you want to look for, and right there I dump down. You can see the big gain I get on that.
Nice, solid way. Keep an eye out for cover 3. I know we talk a lot about cover 2, cover 4, but sometimes guys, if they're playing cover 3, it could throw you off because you can't hit that deep play in the middle. Like you might be relying on certain routes, and then all of a sudden you see cover 3, and it's like, dang. Okay, let's keep going through here. Best run plays inside the 10-yard line from Red X. So we won't even break this down, but what I'll say, Red X, you don't want to change your run plays inside the 10-yard line unless you want to add maybe a fullback dive, because it can get you like a couple if they're not in a certain defense. I would say the read option for me inside the 10-yard line is good because they kind of forget about the quarterback, and it's a way you can get a couple yards to get down quickly. And you can use it once or twice a game if they're not ready for it. So read option, fullback dives from some high form stuff, and then I go to the stretches. But I mean, I use stretches across the whole field, so I don't want to just say that that's something I don't use only when I'm in the 10-yard line. Anything you like to do inside the 10 that you do different run wise. It's not like you're just gonna call.
Oh, I like O1 traps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go for those. Remember, I like to use runs to get myself from the 10 to the 5, and then I throw inside the 5. Unless I'm inside the 2, and then I run like fullback dive. All right, next mailbag question. This one is from Juventino. He wants to know a little bit about a Seattle Deuce close scheme. But before we do that, Gibs, why don't we dive in real quick to 3-4 Predator?
Sure.
So 3-4, this is the Ravens playbook.
Yep.
They've got the Predator, which is found in some 3-4s, just like kind of 3-4 Bear is found in some 3-4s. It's kind of dependent on, the coordinator and all that. But 3-4 Predator will show you why it does what it does, and then we'll give you a little blitz from it to check out.
Coverage blitz. It's a coverage blitz, but it is. I think it's a very good coverage blitz, and it's delayed, and you don't necessarily see it coming at the quarterback.
So 3-4.
Yep.
But I see 4 down linemen.
Right. It is a 3-4, but you have, by default, you have one linebacker on the left side here, right, who has his hand in the dirt and plays a 4-3 alignment, right? But what we actually do to set this play up, we base align, so we hit coverage audible right on the D-pad. We're going to shift our linebackers to the right. Now take a look at this. We're going to force that linebacker to stand up. Now we're in that 3-4 line.
So now it's almost not even Predator anymore, in theory.
Correct. Now, from here, I like to shift the line left, crash it out. I then like to put a deep safety, or a deep linebacker in the deep third. And then I user this linebacker here. You can hover if you want. You can kind of do all you want.
No contain needed.
No contain needed. The idea here is you get slow passive pressure before you snap it. Sometimes this defender will blitz directly, like the lineman and the flow of the quarterback rolling out where he's going. He'll blitz right at the guard. But then there's other times where he'll get a wider rush and he kind of swings around the left tackle. And you can a lot of times don't even need a blitz A-roll. You can put him on a quarterback spy, do whatever you want. But it's those three dudes blitzing off that edge. And right will get a unique angle where he kind of swings in kind of like that and gets after the quarterback. So that's like what you're going to see when it works properly. Now, if you run this 10 times, you get that passive pressure maybe 4 times.
Yeah, you're only,
5 times.
you're sending 3 dudes. It's like how much,
a lot of times it gets picked up. And if they slide protect, good night, right? But listen, the coverage behind this is what you want to focus on. This is phenomenal coverage.
Yeah.
Bar none, one of the best coverage setups in the game.
I know you weren't holding there, but yeah.
No, you don't need to hold it. But that's the example I was talking about. Sometimes you don't get that rush off of that edge. He will go directly into the guard. So we'll go one more time.
Base a line.
Yep.
Shift your backers right to get him to stand up. Crash your line left. Shift your line left. Crash your line up.
Mm-hmm.
Deep zone in the middle,
User.
and then user.
Yep. That's what we're looking for.
And there it is.
And that's what we're looking for. And that time I blitzed the extra resource on the D line, so that could have been a reason what made that work. So let's try that again. Go instant replay. We'll show you how that looks. You can see it comes in pretty quick off the edge, but what I like about it is that it's clean edge pressure, and it's not a lot of resources to get the blitz to work, right? And that's the key to me is how do I maximize my blitz? And what's great about this, guys, this is universal. This is any play from this formation, any play. I love universal blitzes. I don't like having to be forced to come out on something specific because then that limits my coverages. Because if I can come out in a universal blitz, I can always come out in a cover 4, and I can get to that blitz from any of those defenses. Now, a lot of times you don't necessarily always use those plays, but they're at your disposal when you need it, right?
3-4, man. That's a clowny roll. That tight, hand down in the dirt. Move them, shift them, get them all around.
One more
See
time.
how much you can get it to come in. See if you can get him to loop.
When there's movement with the quarterback, it works better.
Yeah.
You're going to find movement with the quarterback. If you get a guy that is a statue in the pocket, this might not be the defense for you to run. But if you get a guy that's a little bit more mobile and they're constantly moving around, it will start to work a little bit more. See how it kind of fights? It really depends on the angle of the quarterback. If you start with a big drop stick back and a left a little bit, I find that's where it will come in. But if you roll to the right, like right at the snap of the ball, that's where the alignment changes of where the blitzer like wants to come after you. Like his Pythagorean theorem changes, right? Like when you roll right, his Pythagorean theorem brings him more across the offensive line. So he will then shoot at the guard. But when you are to like dead center or to the left a little bit, that's when the blitz I'm finding will come in. So do it one more time here for me. Snap the ball. You see how he's shedding there, but he comes in clean. That's the key. Those are still blitzes that are effective, even if they do like the contextual awareness, because they're not getting held, they're not getting blocked, so they can still get in and cause pressure. But this time, just roll to the right for me because I want to see the difference here. I think he'll absolutely get picked up. Nope.
Almost better.
Almost better. But
he's like, I need to go really far over there.
But also the point there, mobility in the pocket helps the play be more successful. That's why this is a play that works better in game than what you see in practice. Because in practice, a lot of times you're just kind of a statue. It's hard to mimic. Like you're not as panicked. You're not running around.
Yeah.
And the tendency for people to use mobile quarterbacks and move in the pocket, that makes this work really well.
All right, 3-4 Predator. Check that out. That's Ravens. And that's obviously still one of the better books in the game anyways, depending on if you like. So button-wise, you press Y right on the D-pad. Then you press LB left on the D-pad. But first, okay, here we go. Y right on the D-pad, RB right on the D-pad, LB left on the D-pad, LB up on the right stick, put your middle linebacker in a deep zone, which is like A up on the left stick, and then user that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the buttons for you.
Boom.
Kapow. Yeah.
You're just forcing coverage.
Matty
That's
ice,
what
baby.
you want. You
Get
want
them to
coverage. You
roll,
want
and
passing
then
pressure.
then work on sending some heat off the right once they start to roll that way consistently. All right, next question in the mailbag. This one is from Juventino. We talked about it before, but a little Seattle Deuce close scheme for Juventino, and we'll have to swap sides of the ball here, and we'll take a look at this Seattle Deuce close scheme. Gives a lot of people don't know that about practice mode, that you can actually flip the old offensive and defensive playbooks when you're labbing. You bring two playbooks to the party, and then when you want to access the other one,
oh, that's a
you
oldie
just
but a goodie.
swap
Been
sides.
doing it for years and years.
Deuce close.
Yeah.
Do you come out and stretch? Do you come back out and wham?
Wham.
Wham every time?
Not every time, but as a base, it's wham.
So the wham. So that's the main run that you're going to build your offense around. You can come out and stretch, and then you can do the same XR trigger flip thing, three-headed rushing attack that we talked about earlier in the show, and you want to review on YouTube, so you can learn how to run. But then the wham is just a really tough run.
Can I start a wham movement? Everyone and their mother runs the wham to the right, and it's always to the right. Let's just, like, if you want a little bit more success with it, I would say just change it up a little bit and run to the left. And I say that because people have setups that they work and lab on, and it's always to try and stop it with that, like, default setup. So, like, if you want a little wrinkle, just start calling it flipped, please, and just see if it starts working. Because I think you're going to see that it's going to change up just a little bit, that you might throw them off. But this whole formation this year, Madden 19 lives and dies with and starts with the wham.
So if you were in the deuce close, you'd come out in the wham, what, 60% of the time?
Come out in it, yeah.
Come out in it 60% of the time.
Yeah.
How often would you come out in the stretch? 20% of the time?
10%. It's situational.
10%. And then how much would you come out in another play? You got 30% left.
30% left, I would come out in PAX post cross.
Okay.
Or I'd come out in PA misdirection.
Okay.
A lot of times I'd come out in the PA misdirection.
All right, so PA misdirections, the running is the passing play you come out in. So
or PA post.
Or PA X post cross.
So I'll come out that first. Show you
okay. Show us that.
So when I come out in this, what I like about it is the table pattern, but it's also a table pattern that's on a flat route, right? So what I'll do here is I'll put Wilson on it in, and I create a three-man high-low system here. Right? I got Rawls, Wilson, and Baldwin. Snap the ball, and you also get Wilson in a good rollout situation, right? And
yeah,
then
you get some blockers.
But you get some blockers, which can be tough, right? So that's one thing to pay attention to right there. I'll have to Deuce close, but you'll get some open passing lanes here, and you also have the deep route if they start cheating up, the dive. But you have that quick. That quick right there is really effective.
So this is your pass play you come out in. What I'm saying, when you come out in the wham, you don't necessarily call the wham every time. You sometimes audible to other pass plays. But this is one pass play you can come out, and if you know you want to get a flow going, get it underneath, get a roll, target the flat, and then you got the backbreaker deep post. That's the killer.
That's the killer. If they start cheating the safety, a lot of times people will.
Yeah, especially against the wham.
So that's that play that I'll come out in. Then you also have the PA misdirection. A lot of people like to use. I think it's good as well.
What I like about this is you get a post across the middle. So the PA misdirection here, the middle play, you'll get the backbreaker to Richardson when I'm expecting, a corner route, or I'm expecting it to come from a different area. That's one spot that it can hit you pretty good.
Sure. So what I do here is I block the halfback. Now that route to Wilson, he will just release most of the times like that, and it's a quick pass. Right? Most times, I can count the number of times on one hand that I think he stayed into block. So it's a pretty reliable, he's going to release, even with a D lineman there. You can see how good it is.
Yeah.
The zone's drift, and you can just throw it to him, right? So the same thing is going to apply here on the right side. Like, I can throw this route to Jimmy Graham. He's going to snap. That time he releases. He goes, he blocked for a second, and he releases.
The quick flip is tough, too. Yeah,
real tough.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
And then you have the post, you have the corners. The corner's tough because it's very deep. you can get to a spot where you can throw open, so you can see how you can throw that open. So Deuce Close gives you a lot of ways to attack these sidelines that's difficult for defenses to defend. But the bread and butter of Deuce Close is tight end angle.
Tight end angle. This is the money maker.
So what makes it difficult is the route combination to Graham and Richardson, and then the route combo of Wilson and Baldwin on the left allows you to throw open that corner. Now, you can block Rawls for extra pass protection, but I also like to swing them because if they don't have a hard flat on that side, that's instant, easy yardage with blockers in front now, right? So
swing them the other way.
Swing them the other way.
So he starts on one way, but you want to go the other way.
I like to do that.
Yeah.
Because this is a wasted resource, and here's why. That curl flat on that right side is just going to drop down to him.
Right.
So by default, you could just call cover runs by him, but by default, you could just call cover 3. Never have played the game before, and you're going to defend that route.
Yeah.
But why I like to add it to the left side, you could call cover 3, that same scenario, never played the game before, don't know what you're doing.
You'd almost be better off with a wheel.
But then there you have it.
To him. Almost like a wheel.
The wheel's timing
to the right,
different.
but I'm saying to the right,
Yeah,
right.
right.
You're going to
right.
leave him to the right.
Right, absolutely. So, but what makes this play difficult to defend is the user dilemma that you create with Graham and Richardson. So the user dilemma is this. If you're on a hook over the middle of the field, and you say you user Jones, okay, here's what happens. There is a window. So if this is what people do. If you're usering Jones, I would call tight end angle, and I'm seeing you're usering Jones. I'd flip it, and I'd run it this way. And the reason I do this is because, number one, I want my streak to be in the seam where your user is. Because if you vacate that area, so just bail hard for me and vacate the area, right? If you vacate it, that's there. Okay, so if you bail, I can throw that. Next, now if I see you're on that Jones route again, you're going to, if you bail and bite on the drag to Baldwin, there is a passing window that opens up to Wilson that doesn't open up if you are using the other defender. So stay on your guy there, go to the drag. So you go to the drag, you're going to see a passing window that opens up and creates a user dilemma. So now, if you're on Jones, and I run tight end drag or tight end angle this way, if you bail on the drag, watch what happens. You bail on the drag, A opens up. I don't care about your great play. What I care is by default, my tight end angle is going to run into the zone.
Your zone, yes,
my zone.
yes. That's actually smart.
Right. So watch. So,
I never thought of it like that.
Oh, this is why it's tough.
That's good.
So if you bail on the drag, or say you bail on the drag right away, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can just go, there's a defender there.
Right.
You caught it. But so this is the dilemma that this formation creates. They're going to key in on, okay, who's he using? Okay, he's using that guy. That's cool. Got it. All right, go ahead, user dilemma. Oh, you messed up. Sorry.
Right.
So this is the cat and mouse game of the tight end angle. Tight end angle is a cat and mouse game at its core, right? You're making them make a decision based on who they want to user. You identify where they are on their user, and then you run the play appropriately. Now, what's also difficult about this play is the corner. The corner is really, really difficult. You need time in the pocket, but you can throw that thing open, or you get the drag. Like, if you don't go to the drag gets open for big yards, right? So if you don't go to them, and you give me that, like, it's the same thing as that swing underneath. It's just big yards. And you can flip it and run it to either side of the field really easily.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this whole scheme really difficult to defend, because you can quickly flip it. It's very similar to the tight slots. Very similar.
All right.
Some would argue that this is better than tight slots. But tight slots a little bit better for running.
Little deuce close scheme. You got the stretch, you got the wham, you got the angle, you got the two PA plays. Those 5 plays, you should be able to run 80% of the game, win a lot of games. Check out some of the pros using that scheme, guys like Kerry Q, and take notes. If you want to go back to my original videos before Madden 17 came out, and I predicted this formation as the next winner, you can go back and review those too, because it all works the same. No big deal. No big deal. Next question, Gibs, we're going to go rally fast because it's 9:20. Beating cover 1 whole man defense. I know you got locked up by it by the end of the year last year. You still locked up by cover 1 whole man defense. Corners
work really well. I would tell you to look for specific routes that don't flip when you motion them. And I can give you 2 here quick. So if you go to gun bunch week and you play cover 1 hole, that's fine. I come out and bunch trail, one of my stock plays.
Yeah.
A route that doesn't flip is this Baldwin route, right? I motion him to the right, his route stays out breaking to the sideline. Snap. I can quickly get that ball out to him, and it's just spicy.
And it's not across the middle.
Not across the middle.
What's good about it not being across the middle is that's where the extra defender is in Riley, where he covers and locks things down. Now, this play can be really tough if they have horses at corner that are very good at covering some of the man-beating routes. Obviously, they have the chair routes, which are like little routes that look like chairs. You smart route those, you can beat the defenders for huge gains in those situations. So go through your playbook, keep one of those in your back pocket because you never know when it's going to come in handy.
Here's another one that's a flip.
And it can be very important. But to get them out of cover one hole, you need to beat them with something big so that they're too afraid to play it without safeties over the top. But it can be very, very difficult and annoying and frustrating if you got to face it all game long. Our guy that was struggling with this is actually a really good player. He knows how to beat man coverage, but they just seem to be locking it down better than two-man under for whatever reason.
Well, it's hard to get beat vertically downfield unless you have those routes, because if you play the cover one and you base a line, like, I don't care who your corner receivers are, like, you're not getting beat vertically deep there.
Right.
So then they could get into a coverage game where they put some flat zones out there. It's tough, man. It's tough.
All right. Keep rallying through the mailbag here. Couple more to go. Gibs, are you cool with playing 91 zone defensive players out of position?
Yeah. I do it all the time.
Think it's good?
Yeah, I do it all the time. I put Chris Harris at free safety. I put Rodney Harrison at corner.
Any balls?
Yeah.
Balls out. All right. Dak Dudo wants to know, any benefit to run behind a good offensive line?
A good let's get one thing situated here. A good offensive line is one of the most important things to have in the current world of Madden. Right?
Yeah?
Yes. A good offensive line is something that's really valuable. Now, what some people might come back and say, well, you could set up a blitz, and it doesn't matter how good your offensive line is. Okay, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, for your standard pass rush, how everyone loves coverage, for the run game, a good offensive line is really important. When it comes to blitzes, I look at that as almost like an entirely different meta, a different mode, a way my brain needs to think. I need to think of pass protection blocking schemes at that point.
Call a run play.
Okay.
And just hike it. So one thing you should do, that is, you're not getting beat by scheme right there. You got beat. Obviously, it was a receiver, not an offensive lineman, but you could, if you were going to run this consistently, sub in a tight end at that position, if you really wanted this run to be something, you got beat here because of a block shed. 50 block shedded. Now, like I said, not a lineman, so it's not necessarily true. But give me a run again. There you go. Your lineman held up in that situation. What I want you to do is start tracking, if you don't think alignment is important, when you run the ball, track, did I get tackled because I called a poor run play against the front and I miscalculated how many defenders were in the box?
Mm-hmm.
Or did I get beat because a defender block shedded off of a lineman?
Mm-hmm.
Or because of a good user play? Why did I not succeed? That's what you have to track, and then you can determine if a line is good. That's why I like double teams, because even crappy linemen double team, they're usually going to get a push back on a good defender. So that's why I like stretches, where I know against fronts I'm going to get double team. But those are things you want to track when you're running the ball and it's not working. Why is it not working? Are you doing something wrong? Is your line not good enough? Is the defensive line good enough? Are you not getting push? Are they getting block sheds? And review the tape and come up with the real reason. Okay, best move in the open field, Gibs, when you're running the ball. Is it the McCoy Juke style spin runs, or is it a guy like Jerome Bettis trucking? What is the best run style and moves in the game this
Left
year?
trigger B. Left trigger
spin
B.
move?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for the big play, it's the spin move. For the consistent play, it's the truck. It's the fight between the tackles, make a play. You don't want to spin move in the middle of of all the muck, because you're going to run into someone else. But one-on-one, open field, 90-plus spin move all day, dude. All day. Juke move's also very good, but the difference, in my opinion, is the juke move doesn't set you up for success after the fake as much as the spin move. The spin move kind of is so quick, it gets you into the next, gets you going. That's what I like about it. So,
all right, we need to see if we can find ourselves a Bills playbook. Is that the challenge this week?
That's the challenge. Let's see how you do, man.
Am I gonna? You want to play offense and I play defense, or you want me to play offense and you play defense?
You play the whole game. We'll coach.
All right.
You nervous?
A little bit.
Do you have soda water?
I'm fresh out.
You're fresh out?
Fresh out.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, I think I'm fresh out. I have like crappy Target soda water.
Really?
It's like in a bottle.
You mean that about Target? I like Target.
I like Target at the store. I'm just saying that this specific type of soda water is not something I'm really into. You want to try it?
Yeah.
Fuji apple?
No, I'm out.
Fuji apple?
Yeah, I'm out on that.
All right. I'm going to take my gold offensive line. We just talked about how offensive lines are. We're going to be using a gold offensive line tonight. Man of the people. Not a big deal.
You're a man of the people?
Same lineup I've had all year, bro.
How many games have you played, Farls?
Me?
Yeah. Not a ton? Not up there yet? What's your leaderboard looking like?
I don't know.
Why don't you take a look?
Are you on there?
Huh?
Are you on the leaderboard?
For what?
Are you on the leaderboard? Is that... Did
What?
you play on my account or something?
Don't.
Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
You're creeping me out.
I didn't do anything. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, let's go.
I'm Gucci.
Let's go.
Why would you ask me that?
I don't know. I'm just asking. Yeah, why aren't you playing Wolf? Play Wolf.
Eventually, I'll play Wolfman.
Well, when will you play Wolf on the Game of the Week? He asks me to play you on the Game of the Week. When will you play him?
Guys, reminder, El Paso, Texas Challenger event this weekend, and then Nerd Street Gamers in Philly. That one's sold out, but you can still go to El Paso if you want to play. Either way, if you're not going to travel, make sure you tune in, watch, see what people are up to. We talked about Vegas and all that stuff.
Duck? You're Duck. You know why I know you're a Duck?
What's up, Bob Marley? Don't go in there.
Shout out to anyone that has been watching TWIM that knows what this duck is from. This is the original duck.
And if you don't know what it's from,
This is the original...
it's what you think it is.
It's the original Raven Maniac duck. It's Farls' best friend. Here you go, Farls. Put that right on your shoulder for not playing Wolf.
Do you play Destiny, Gibs?
Wait, this is a thumb. This is going to be our thumbnail.
Oh, thumb?
Thumbnail. Hold on. You got to go like, oh! Get the duck up there, though. He's got to rest on your shoulder.
Make the camera larger.
Sure.
Ready? Gronk, he's got Twitch Legends. Alright. Should we play like this?
No, that's horrendous.
Might help people.
No. I'll tell you what, good game, bro. Huge face cam.
Yeah?
Huge.
Big time?
Huge.
Huge.
It's a huge face
It's
cam.
gonna be huge. Okay. Rod Wilson bring it out?
I don't know what happened to Raven Maniac. He plays Hearthstone. Actually, I actually talk to him every now and then.
I like Steve the Beast.
Steve the
I
Beast.
also like Raven Maniac.
Where's
Okay,
Steve
how do we
the
do?
Beast?
How do we do?
What are you doing?
What plays do we go?
Oh, tight slots.
Okay, single back, ace, tight slots.
Pitch,
Bills
pitch,
challenge
pitch, flip it.
game. Bills challenge game here. Single back, tight slots. I'm gonna have David Johnson as my receiver.
Mr. Wayne.
Should I
Okay.
pitch it? Right.
No, give me a dive.
He's in cover two.
Flip it. All right. Motion back to the left and snap it.
To the left?
To the right. I'm sorry. Snap it once you get to the left guard. Hurry up. Motion him.
I'm working on it.
Snap.
I tried. 64. That's what. See, I have a gold offensive line, guys. Gibbs, that's a touchdown.
All right.
Me, that's gold offensive line. Barely got any yards. I'm lucky I had such amazing skills to even get that far. What play should I call now? You're not
Pitch.
even talking. You're not even saying anything.
You're talking. I got hiccups. Pitch.
Pitch?
Pitch.
Should I flip it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna get 35 all game.
I know.
Oh,
This is
hold
bad.
on.
Flip it left. Run it left, right?
Yeah, run it left. Motion
Gronk?
Gronk. Yeah, motion Gronk. Snap him at the left tackle. You gotta snap him quick
I
at the
know.
left tackle.
Right there. Go. I thought I could outrun that guy rather than move him.
Give me this. Give me flip deep post.
Flip deep post. This is where I'm going to throw my first pick. I can't wait out of that Bill scheme.
No, bunch quads. Audible left twice. Bunch trail RB. Hot route Johnson. Out route Smart. Drag Brown. Smart route B.
Smart route B.
Smart route B.
Smart route B.
Bunch drag Brown.
Drag
RB.
Brown.
Motion right.
Motion him right.
Snap him in the slot.
So
So
should I
bad.
get
Go,
this?
yes.
Okay.
Throw to B.
I
like
I meant to scramble with the
you honestly
quarterback.
you honestly need to know the buttons. Like
No,
it's
so here's
bad.
what's happening.
You can't play. You can't.
I
do
know the
anything,
buttons.
You don't know the buttons.
I did smart route B.
Deep post.
Who's your quarterback?
Just go to deep
Who's
post.
your quarterback?
I don't care. Go to
No,
deep
no,
post.
I care.
Pick a play, man.
I will. But who's your quarterback? Why won't you answer?
All right, motion
Because you're not
over.
a man of the people.
Motion back to the right.
On what?
Just stay. Call timeout. I never said to go there. Call timeout.
I know.
Call timeout.
I know. Usually when you don't say anything.
Call timeout.
I will. I want to use all of this. Usually when you don't say anything, it's like go back to the last thing that we did.
No.
Yes.
Deep
He
post.
won't even
Deep post.
say.
Deep post.
Deep post. Flip it.
No. Leave it.
Leave it this way. Yep.
All right, you're gonna motion that corner to the left.
Which
Block
corner?
the corner of the Kronk.
The corner to Gronk. To the left.
Max protect. And motion Gronk left.
Okay.
All right, so now you have that. Gronk breaks first, then you have Brown. So
Yeah, I'm gonna blindly throw it to Gronk.
Okay. Well, you also have the dragon underneath.
High point or no?
No.
Just regular.
Just throwing the ball open.
I know, but it's
Go.
3rd and 11.
Just go. You're not only throwing to Gronk. You're throwing to. Oh my God! There's so many people open.
He should have caught that. That's Gronk. That's your boy.
You have tunnel vision.
That's your boy.
You literally have tunnel vision. You had the deep in.
Should I go for it?
Sure.
Probably that idea.
Dude, just go for it.
Is he getting hot in
No,
here?
go back to single back.
Single back. Single back.
Tight slots. Deep post. Flip. God, flip it.
How would I know that?
Flip it, cause don't call it. Don't run. Flip it.
I know, but
Flip
I just
it.
asked you that.
Flip it. Flip it. Flip it.
Ooh.
Motion Beckham to the right.
I know, I'm working on it.
Max protect.
Okay. Anything?
Same thing. Same idea. Go. Make a tough user. What are you?
What? Oh my god, he picked it.
How many times do you not throw to the open deep in?
Who's open?
The deep in. How many times are you not going to throw the deep in open?
Have I ever used this formation? Formation. We should have punted. Next question. What do you want to call? 3-3-5?
Yeah. I'm not telling you to run defense. Go ahead. Do whatever you want. You're already in a flow on defense because you play games with it.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Doesn't mean anything.
No, that sounds like it means something.
Notice the chat. Todd, Duck. Good one.
Yeah, yes, you are the coach. You're responsible.
Why are you not making reads? You're just blindly throwing to one guy.
You're responsible. You are responsible.
Bring your safeties up. Tight slots, yeah. Tight slots, yeah.
This guy's tired.
Just call press. Pinch linebackers. Pinch linebackers.
Good D.
So-
Let's.
Hand controller. Please.
Okay.
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 Set. Don't pick your play first. Alright, you want to baseline press this. I know it's going to feel awkward like the low running lanes, but you want to baseline press this.
Base a line press.
Yeah.
Base
Pinch
a
your
line
linebackers.
press. Pinch my linebacker.
Just you want a little tighter, put your middle linebacker in a deep zone. Careful, your linebacker is making a make you want to run
Okay. Good tackle and fuel. Tackle and fuel. Okay, baseline press.
Oh, you use it the other guy? Don't use it quickly here.
No.
Route progression.
Oh! You got me like a oboe jackson.
So this time, man up the B receiver with Kuechly, and then use your bar and take away Ingram.
Who's Ingram?
He's gonna run across it.
88 type.
Ingram's gonna run across it. You're gonna get a pick.
Should I hard flats? Hard flats?
I don't know. Cross. Oh, that's fine. That's
He dropped
fine.
it. He dropped it. No, he didn't drop it.
He's playing the cat and mouse game, so just mess with him a little bit.
Oh, I love.
Pinch linebackers. Pinch linebackers.
He's gonna run. He's gonna run. Oh! You gotta give me that. That's a great user.
Yeah.
Tampa 2. Challenge today is to try and win a game with Sgibs chirping in your ear,
I'm not
telling you
chirping. I'm not-
horrible reads.
That's not true.
Telling you he's gonna run.
Pitch,
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hands on the stick.
Sorry. I gotta say,
Why are you seal
I
clapping?
cheer my guys on.
Don't seal clap.
I
You're not
cheer
seal.
my guys on. When
You're
they make good
human.
plays, I cheer my guys on.
You're a human being.
Cheer my guys on.
You're human. You're seal
Cheer
clapping.
my guys on.
Remember when you seal clapped?
Sanos?
Yeah.
3rd and 9. It looks like 2 receivers.
You're staying Tampa 2. You like that, right? Go ahead.
It's a good play.
They gotta get it to the 21.
Pinch the linebackers.
On third down.
Uh-oh.
Just get ready for the
We're in trouble.
man up bar.
I did on somebody. I'm
Man
probably
up
not
bar
on the right
and-
guy. Probably not on the right guy.
Watch it deep cross. Right
You!
here. I think you're in deep post on you.
Throwing off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up the first and goal.
Goal line? So he's definitely not going to run QB sneak. So what's he going to call?
Probably a toss. Probably a toss.
Yeah.
I play cover 4. Cover
Not
4.
from the 1 yard line.
Deep safety shoot.
He's pretty impressive. And his friends
Back
call
dive?
him Baby. The nickname his uncle gave him back.
Good D, Stevie Atwater.
All right. Baseline press. Blitz Atwater. Blitz him. Baseline press. Get him out wide.
He's going to go this way. Yep. Ah, that was almost good D. That was almost good D. This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine. We have good. We're having good offense. He's gonna. All right, here we go. We're only down 7. We should have punted. I can't believe he sits here with his arms crossed. He won't even say who his quarterback is. He won't say who his quarterback is, but he patronizes me when he knows I have a much less.
You have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's not as good as your quarterback, but you won't say who your
You're
quarterback is.
pretending that Aaron Rodgers is a bad quarterback? Get out of here.
Well, when
most
you
people are
want,
playing
when you want me to make adjustments,
you got Aaron Rodgers.
What is Gronk doing? You got Rob Gronkowski
Having a party.
playing like a goose.
Chick Liddell's here?
Chick?
Alright, single back tight slots.
Okay. Pitch.
Deep post.
Flip it. Deep post. You want to pass on first down. You want to pass on first down.
Halfback throw.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That seems smart.
You're
That sounds
gonna
smart.
run a halfback.
The only successful play we had is pounding the rock. What it?
Yeah, go for it. Run right. You don't have to motion if you don't want to.
But you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Don't want to attack. We'll see how they attack.
With all due respect, that's
That was a
terrible.
bad stick. I should have cut it back inside. I didn't know Gronk wasn't going to hold his block. He's the highest rated blocker in the game, but that's
A
not
good
good.
run there on first down, and it'll
Still
leave him with
shade
a second and 2.
Gronk's stinking right now. He dropped the pass. He acted like a silly goose on the kick return, and then he didn't hold his block right there. I should have cut that run back inside.
Shot. Steven the Beast is here.
The beast.
The beast man.
His ears are ringing.
Let's go to the quarter.
Okay.
He's gonna come out of that again. You're gonna go to bunch trail.
What play is that?
That's cover 4.
Alongside Charles
We're fine.
Davis on
We're
Brandon
good.
Yeah, Paul Krause?
the Giants with a football here.
I know.
as we begin
No?
quarter.
Let's go back tight slots.
How would I know that?
Because that's what we do every time. Tights.
Tight slots. Pitch. Flip it.
That's what he's in.
Looking to jam the receivers
Yeah.
at the line
Bunch
here.
trail.
Press coverage. Look
Okay.
defensively.
Ian Johnson.
Ian Johnson.
B.
Okay. Yeah, I know he's hard to find.
Put Brown on
He's
a
hard to
drag.
find.
Put
I know. What do you
Call
want me to do?
timeout. Call
no,
timeout.
we got this.
No,
I
it's
need to
not gonna
motion.
work.
I need to motion him, right? It wouldn't let me call a
You're
timeout.
so
It would not let
pathetic.
me call a timeout. You saw that. Did you see that?
So pathetic.
Did you see that? Though?
So pathetic.
Did you see that?
Just like learn the buttons.
I know the buttons.
No, you don't. Go.
The buttons aren't the problem. The players, knowing where the players
It's-
line up are the problem.
7 yards to
Dude,
go.
you're awful with the buttons.
What are we doing?
Bunch trail. In Johnson. B.
Okay.
RB drag.
Okay.
Motion right. You don't
What am I looking for?
don't
What am I
get-
looking for?
make a read. There's levels underneath. You got the corner pattern. You didn't snap it properly. You're pathetic. Go.
On
You play
second
cloud
down, here's
flats.
Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Dolphins have got it.
It's not about my players.
Play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know if
All right, we got a D up.
going to pick up. They either take the hit,
I know the
in
buttons.
this case, lose the football.
Split
Should
close.
have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the same.
Run play, you
play.
think?
Here's out there. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because
Okay, yes, I get back to the middle. Oh, get oh!
as a first option.
We need to play. We need to play.
Yeah.
We need to play.
And that's
All right.
it. Don't worry about it anymore.
We need to
And
play.
the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls.
I think this player's
incomplete.
actually
It'll
good,
be
too.
second down. Second down now after the incompletion.
Watch the corner to Adams.
They'll run it now out of the
Great.
Way to set the edge. Way to set the edge.
Great.
Good play. Hand on the stick.
10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard
All right.
there. Now it'll be third down.
Watch the crosser into Moss now, and you're already in cloud flats. Watch the crosser to Moss. He's going to run a slant most likely.
And guess
Yes.
what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But
cover.
you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays in that.
Oh no!
Bad stick.
No! Yo, my ball! My ball! Let me. No!
Such
no!
bad stick.
No!
That's such bad
No! I forced a fumble
stick. That's such bad
and a
stick.
broken tackle, and that was
That's
great. I
such
dropped
bad
slant and I
stick.
dropped down and he was running. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Such bad stick.
By me?
Yeah.
How?
Because you should have tackled him before.
When he was busy breaking
He's
the
gonna run a
defender's
wham.
tackle?
He's gonna run a wham on you. Yeah, go to 4-3 cover 3 sky. The first cover 3. Use the deep safety for me, please. He's gonna wham. you.
$100 he doesn't run away.
Wham.
Just kidding, not 100 but 10.
Don't get in the box. Don't mess with anything.
He just audible.
The audible.
This is better. This is better. Should I do anything else?
Drop. Cover.
First down. Prescott. Hurts has it left side.
Hands on the controller.
Able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
I want you to call 3-5 normal cover 4.
Sure.
Yes. He needs safeties on this.
One play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end.
Cover
Hard,
drop.
yeah, hard,
Not in this
hard
situation.
flats.
How
Okay.
about the
Bring your
corner
safeties in the
feeding
box
that
a little bit.
logic and making a really nice tackle.
User the left linebacker.
They'll run it with
There
Jackson.
you go. There you go. Hands on the stick.
Okay.
Toughness, but still correct.
Hard flats again.
Yeah.
5 at the 6.
Safety's up in the box.
Yeah. Move Jones to the right a little bit.
With a
There you
third and
go.
3.
And user. No. Get on bar. Get on bar.
Ball! Football!
Go.
AJ! Boo! Yeah! 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 AJ! Yeah! That's huge.
Oh, that's you.
That's huge.
It's returned for second.
That's huge. Yes. Yes.
Why not giving him a lot?
Yes.
I don't know what came over me.
Boom replay. Clip that.
Oh my god, that was awesome. We were saying AJ BOUYYEEE. We're gonna watch it delayed here, wicked delayed in a second. Hands on the stick. We gotta get a t-shirt that says hashtag hands on the stick.
Should we go Gibs kick?
Yeah, Gibs kick always. Woo! Uh-oh, someone clipped it.
Benzaldo's a great clipper.
We're about to watch it here real quick.
Go AJ.
Woo!
AJ BOUYYEEEE.
AJ BOUYYEEEE.
Here we go. I can't wait to see what happens.
Just pause it so we can watch it delayed. Hold on, pause it. Wait, don't.
Here's us watching the replay in real time. Should I do anything else? This is first down. It's going to be second down. And we're going to miss it.
No. We got. Hands on the stick. Tim Boberton's here? No, it's third down, I think.
I think it was this play. I think it was
No, it's third down. I think.
Yeah, it's third down because he hurried up. Our thing's very delayed.
You get another timeout? No, this thing's delayed.
We'll call one play and then we'll...
Get set to take.
Call timeout, maybe?
And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up.
All right, now it's on this one, right?
They saw it go the other way for 6 points.
It's on the stick. Say that?
Situation as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football.
No. Get on bar.
That's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly
Alright, we got
Why did you do yaw at the end like
know.
that? What the heck is wrong
Just
with you?
felt right.
Yaw!
You know?
And he'll get this up to about
Here's the thing about that.
Go, hands on the stick!
the first down carry.
Get... What are you...
He's going to go deep down the post or something.
Throwing for his
Okay.
running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get out. They'll spot it.
Hands on the sticks.
Play and a
I take him off quite a
I
bit.
know you do.
half. Back to Foxborough.
Hard flats?
After this.
Like you should use her the right linebacker because
Yeah.
his run's gonna go run.
I couldn't
right,
do anything.
You know what I'm saying?
right there.
But halfback on the right, you want to use her the right linebacker because the run's gonna go
You can
left.
shoot.
Yes.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough.
So like his inside zone's gonna carry him to the left side of the field. So no, don't stay on the right side.
Yeah. It's how I kind of. When I do this. At least expect so.
Like that. Until he has identified though. Am I right? Oh.
All right, we got to fight here. He's letting the clock run down.
Prescott on first down.
Go!
Good possession catch.
That's pretty good.
To
Yeah.
Thomas. A Miami first down.
Okay.
That one going for a gain of 11. First down now, but that clock rolling.
That was a nicely run.
Every now and then you think about
What the
not,
receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going
not
upfield.
dropping the guy deep.
We have to because it's a touchdown.
I know.
Usually after about 3 to 4 steps, it cuts to his middle.
Bad, he had bad.
Hands on the stick.
It's usually
Why do you do that?
'Cause
what is this? What is this reaction? Why do you?
Pickup of only
Yeah.
a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
What does it do? Why do you do that?
Soothe.
Maybe we'll get a good play. Hand on the stick, call a
I
play.
know. Well. Do that one. Oh, yeah. Ooh, gun punch. What do you think about this? What am I looking for?
Flat route.
Flat route to.
Yeah, flat route can hurt you here.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
Good D.
Man right side
So
is
he's
good.
gonna.
And he's going to get it down to
Yeah.
the 33-yard line here. 4 yards for the completion.
Should I take it down?
Sets up a third down.
Young doer.
It's okay though, they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve.
This really is the thing you do. It's so weird. You've always done it. It's so weird.
Good D. Ah. Okay.
Stop doing that. What is this? You play and then you go like this.
We're going to get a timeout
After every play.
They stop it with 28
Yeah.
seconds
Why?
to go in
Feels
the
good.
first half of play.
Feels good.
Do you start sweating under here because it gets hot?
Yeah, a lot of moisture builds up if you're breathing a lot. Especially if you're Gibs and you breathe out of your mouth.
What? Yeah, I'm not a mouth breather. What do you do?
Oh no.
A first down throw for Prescott. Finding a safety valve here. That's good.
It's hard.
Stop doing that.
Rolling here. They've got another first down.
Oh.
First down play. We're going to get a timeout.
Jo wants a Salgado shirt. Jo, I'll send you this exact shirt after the game. I'll sign it. Game worn shirt.
Sign it, Mark Messier.
To the line now. First and 10.
I gotta take a timeout.
Get off of that. D-pad.
I know. My camera.
D-pad down. You don't know the buttons.
Down to one
God.
remaining here as we head toward halftime.
What?
Fresh set of downs here.
D-pad.
I am.
Up.
So I don't know the buttons, but you told me the wrong buttons. Who, what? Wait, what?
Huh?
Huh?
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Caught on the right side by Adams.
Hands on the stick.
So he took his last time out.
The second down
So Gibbs, that thing at the
All
top,
right,
that's
do
the
this.
clock.
Time out.
So that's
Time
the
out.
clock.
Listen, you want to call cover 4 outside corners and hard flats or soft spots here. Caged.
Probably soft squats.
Sure. Caged.
So
Cover
I
4.
need to tackle him in bounds.
This will help. Outside corners, soft spots.
Outside corners?
Oh my God.
Should I take a timeout?
Yes. No, what other corners, man?
It's a defense.
The only
Outside
no, the
corners.
only corners you can hot route to soft spots are outside corners.
Outside.
Timeouts from here forward.
So the outside corners. What is the question?
I don't know. Something about a Band-Aid? I don't really get it.
So soft squats?
Yeah. It's D-pad and in to the right. Oh my goodness!
Second down.
It's bad, man. It's so bad. See, that's cover 4 for the beat parts.
That's good.
Okay, okay. Ready? Y, X, D-pad into the right.
Okay.
And then Y, and I think it'll be a B.
Shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him, they've sat back.
Y, B. Right, now bring the safeties up. Use our linebacker and put one guy in a spot in D-line and blitz
I
a guy.
did. He's stupid.
He's gonna know huddle. I would. Run commit, 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 run. He's gonna run. That's all he's got. Yes. Someone clip that.
He finally gets the play right. What do you want me to do?
There's nothing else he can do there.
Yeah, he throws a pass whenever he came out.
He wouldn't throw a pass because he's just trying to get the ball out. He's on the 2.
Seems crazy.
I wonder who was in the ear of the head coach on this one. Did he make
That wasn't
this
that
call on
good.
his own? Or maybe the analytics coach?
Wasn't that? I mean, that's a good call. Wasn't a great call.
You literally said, no, he's not.
Analytics actually says do it this way, which might be
Spider senses were off. They were tingling.
for them in a really nice way.
Cashing in and
Sketch
making the
ball.
final play of the first half.
Where's the Gibs kick? Yeah. Farls is uncoachable.
So both teams
It's amazing how good that graphic is. How like it looks.
Great graphic.
they gave the character a boy's regular haircut. It's like
Great.
coming up as he gets this just shy of the 45 out of bounds at the 40.
Should have ran commit.
At some point, we're going
It's
to
all
get
right.
through our heads. Special teams,
It's all right.
special teams, special teams. The spark that
Thanks,
often
Tim
wins
Bobbitt.
games.
What should I go with? Maybe 2? Alright.
I would like you to run another defense, but I know.
Would you want me to? What D? He's
Well,
gonna
for real.
run. He's definitely gonna run. You want me to use it this side because it's a run play, so that I can take my guy out of position.
Hand on the stick. All right, 4-3 over. Why? What's your obsession with taking the hand off the stick? All right.
I got an itchy head.
Okay. You're gonna go to cover 2 sink. Ready? Base of line. Spread your linebackers. Shift your line left and crash it
I
out.
was just going to say maybe that gives him a
Blitz
little
to
juice.
the left,
You're
the
right, he
screen
struggled,
linebacker.
especially in that first half.
I literally, no offense.
Don't call it. Don't call it.
No. What's the 4-3?
3-5. Cover 2 sink.
No. I
Cover
didn't
2
hear the
Cover
words.
2 sink.
Play clock down to 2 and we get a signal and a
No. I was subbing my guy, so I wasn't paying
So
attention.
2 remaining
Whoa,
as
what?
they burn one here in this third quarter.
4-3 over.
Yeah. Cover 2 sink.
Cover 2 sink.
You're gonna base a line.
Yeah.
Spread your linebackers.
Yeah.
Shift line left. Crash it out.
Okay.
Global blitz left the screen linebacker.
Okay.
Middle linebacker.
Base a line, spread my backers, shift my line left, spread them out. Base a blitz that guy,
Hover. You need a deep
and
zone.
I definitely need a deep zone.
Hand on the freaking stick.
Okay.
He no huddles. What is wrong with you?
Sometimes he does. Sometimes he doesn't.
And that's why you don't get setups in.
Offensive mastermind.
He's pathetic.
That's not why I don't get setups.
Yes, yeah, well, partially that's why. You don't literally know the buttons to the game.
I
Can we
know
also
the
get can we
buttons.
also get a shirt that says Farls doesn't know the buttons?
All right. I'm not on trial here. Do you want me to call this again against this set
No, cover 4.
from?
Cover 4 from 335.
Didn't get it.
You got it.
Got a ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Pinch line.
I don't know why it won't let me man up a guy.
Hand on the stick. Your head isn't that itchy. Like,
so
what the
itchy,
heck
though.
is wrong with it?
Left with 3rd and 1.
What did...
I don't even know what defense I'm in, Gibs.
Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that
Deep
defense
zone.
stand up and stop
You're
them.
gonna get
I know.
What are
I'm
you
not gonna
doing?
blitz. I'm not gonna blitz. It's fine. I don't have to blitz every play.
Take him off the blitz so you don't first step
I want
down.
a screen, Gibs.
On 3rd down.
See?
Hand on the stick. He's no huddling.
Brought down at the 32. That'll make
Get
it
your dandruff on me.
down after a loss of 1.
Think he'll fake it?
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept
I'm not
hearing
getting
about was his
abused.
speed
What?
off the edge to the
What
quarterback.
play? What do you like?
But what
Cover
impressed
4?
me, his
I would tell you to
balance,
scream
his
at him,
ability
but
to take on blocks
I'd
and
play
be
hard
forced
flags
in the
here.
run game, as we just
From
saw there.
from where?
cover 2. Tampa 2.
From 35?
Do this. Do the setup and just global blitz all your linebackers. Quarterback contain. Press. Get the setup. Like, what are you doing? When do you shift the line left? Like, why are you not pressing?
I don't know what planet I'm on right now, dude.
User keeping. Quarterback contain.
We're gonna get toasty. I don't know how that's on me.
How is it
Oh,
not?
oh.
How is it not on you? Why do you do the things that you do?
That's a chop. That's a big chop skull. 4th and 2, halfback pitch.
You didn't have the. If you had the defense set up properly,
What
he would not
defense?
have been able to run that play.
Halfback pitch?
The pitch would have been completely.
I blitzed
shut
all my
down.
linebackers.
You didn't have the outside corner out there, and you weren't pressed, and you pinched your line.
Did you say all that before the snap?
No, we've never done that setup before, ever.
Right. So why didn't you tell me that?
Like,
Did you communicate that clearly?
that's not what we're gonna turn this into.
This is what it is every week. I take the heat, but you know they say about the heat. Get out of my kitchen if you can't heat.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have
Pitch?
eyes towards the return guy.
What?
Because you want to make sure that
Are you
the catch
quitting?
is secured. A lot of teams
Are you
do
quitting?
Have that guy.
one guy. Okay, you're responsible
Motion?
for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We gotta get it back.
And he'll get about
Single back tight stuff.
Let's keep a counter how many times
What do you
he
want me to
takes
do?
his hand off the stick.
What do you want me to do?
Pitch.
hard earned for you.
Let's
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't
Dive.
call them stat
Dive.
sheet, but they
Dive?
just put you up in good
The
position.
book says to dive against this
Does
every
it?
time. Every time. Go.
that way.
Run right. Go.
They go to Johnson again.
I know it's
Hurry
not
up or
fun. No, I know it's not fun. It's not glamorous. The
It's
book-
great.
The book says dive every time against this front.
In
Every time.
fact, I actually like it. I know
It's
they're
like,
not scores, but the running
like,
game in that
Coke
situation
Blackjack.
will continue to go in that direction.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they
Bunch
approach
trail.
with a fresh set.
Put B on an in. Put RB on a drag. Motion RB to the right.
And who am I looking for?
You want the corner, but if you put Cloud flat, you're gonna dump on him. You don't. You snap it before he sets. bro.
Yeah, you didn't mention that.
Throwing is Rodgers.
Ew, Gronk. That's on Gronk, man. I'm cutting Gronk after this game.
Picked up by Deion
Dude.
Jones, the linebacker. And he'll
Was he not running that deep post in run? Did he not turn around? You're not gonna back me up? You're not gonna back up your
I
players?
just don't
You're not
understand
gonna back up
why
players?
you didn't throw the drag.
Because he usered it?
Last three
Did he not user it?
Two interceptions and a fumble. Winning football. We're not seeing
Not gonna back. My coach isn't gonna back me up. What should I be calling? What should I be calling?
really nice starting field position.
He's
here
quit.
in the
My coach
offensive
quit on me. Wow, I'm a coach killer. Wow, this is bad.
What is that?
I don't know.
What is
this
that?
It? Is this it or no?
No. Oh
My
my God.
How would I know?
left side.
I know.
How would I know? How would I know? This guy quit on me.
I didn't quit on you.
That's
First down.
No, I didn't quit on you.
no. You quit on me.
Nice job, nice patience right there.
What are we doing?
On the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Over the middle, open is Thomas. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
When he sees zone defense, and he
It's
knew
all down hitting us with another
Yeah,
one.
he's backing us up. That was a Gronk. Backing me up. Cause I'm out here solo.
That's not what he was doing.
I'm like Devin Wade.
some tough coverage.
That was on Gronk, not on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back now.
I'm not even sure this offense is good.
Okay.
It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4.
I'm in trouble.
They don't
Do
get
we
it here to his right.
know why that's happening?
And
What?
they'll get this
Can't
one
get my
down
guys
at the
where I need
10-yard
them.
line. Only a yard to pick up there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
You have to.
Press 1 if Sgibs quit on me.
This is what you have to do when you bring the safeties up. You have to like first move them a little bit and then like wait a second and then you can bring them in the box quicker. I know that's hard. It doesn't really make sense, but it's how it works.
Good deep.
And it's there.
Three scores. This guy will go for it. Go for it. Good little baby. Go for it. Put us out of our misery. Run it up. Be a big dog. Be a tough guy. Come on. Be a hot shot. Come on. Come on. You did your little wave. Yeah. Kill us. Yeah. Beat us.
Give me the stick. Give me the stick. Give me the stick. Give me the stick. Give me.
No.
One play.
No, you already quit on me. What do I do?
I didn't quit.
You quit on me.
One play.
You
One
quit
play.
on me.
One play.
You
One
quit
play.
on me.
I will turn. I'll hit the button.
You
One
quit
play.
on me.
One play. Call time out. Come on. One play.
No, you quit on me. You quit on me.
The offense is not
We
leading
don't
the
reward
field. They're gonna stay out
Shake
and
is the
go
box.
Quitters. I know.
Angles.
I'm working on it.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
That's good D.
That's why he's safety's in the wall.
Didn't have to give you the paddles for that. All right, let's throw another pick here. What do you want to do? You gonna actually give me some good reads or not?
Yeah, I will. You have to throw the drags. Go to dive. Book says dive.
I know, but we only got.
Doesn't matter. Book says dive. Eventually you break one. Go. Go. Bad thing.
And he was using over there though.
Terrible thing. Give me a 1 PA post. Go down.
PA shot post.
PA shot post. Deep out to the far right guy.
Defense in press coverage here.
Is that good?
Yeah, smart route it. And then
Block
drag,
halfback or no?
drag Gronk.
Check it deep to Antonio.
Yeah.
On play action, Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
Really, game? Really? Deion Jones?
Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
Like that?
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in
You
this
quit on me?
situation, throwing an interception here,
Seems like you quit on me. What should I call?
That one's gonna hurt, and in a big way.
You quit on me, man.
I didn't quit on you.
Now a handoff
Ooh,
here.
Deion Jones just did a swirl around right there.
Gain on the play,
Yeah.
and it's second down. Gotta figure now after getting that turnover.
Fourth quarter, Farls showed up last week, bro. You saw me on YouTube. Come on.
Dude?
That's what they're saying. That's the narrative. Fourth quarter, Farls disappeared. He's on the side of a milk cart. That's not true.
Oh my god. Jared couldn't be more true.
What did he say?
Don't worry about it.
I was going to read it. I can read the chat.
Couldn't be more true.
Now they'll run it on the toss. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's.
How am I trolling? Every week we go over a different offense, which doesn't work, which he continuously changes because he knows it doesn't work.
How did
We
I
play
win 20
good
games?
players on the game of the week. We play good players on the game of the week. I make great defensive plays, keep us in these games, and then you quit on me.
How did I?
You
I didn't quit on you.
quit on me.
I did not quit on you.
You quit on me.
When?
This guy got a lucky TD before the half.
I didn't quit on you.
Very lucky TD before
You
the
got all
half.
3 timeouts. Lock up.
Guy got very lucky before the half.
5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Pitch. So pitch right.
Adams the man.
The guys over there. Hard.
On 3rd down. It's
Go, football.
Go. Go.
And the Giants have it. It's picked
All right, Gibs.
Yeah.
If we had been
Go gun. Go to gun. Go to gun. Go. Stay.
45-yard line.
Wing tight. No, wing tight. All right. Give me all-on trap. Just do it. Quick audible. Play action. Quick audible.
Slim, but you just
Fade round.
hope you could have sealed it right there.
You're going to block Johnson. Put Gronk on a drag. You gotta be careful of the guy on the left coming up the edge.
Who am I looking for?
Now after the fumble
X.
recovery, it's Rodgers.
One, that's good right there. Good play. Okay.
To the right side,
No.
caught by Saleh.
Quick audible right. Quick audible right.
That's my first complete pass of the day.
Quick audible right. Drag. Y. This is a stick and nod. Get his user. Throw high point pass to Kelsey. Right there and no, it's not there.
Had to throw it anyways. Probably shouldn't have. Felt like I had to.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
We're gonna hurry up at minute 27. We gotta move the ball.
No, but you go. Probably shouldn't have thrown it.
I had no choice. I had no choice. Did I have a choice? I feel like I didn't have a choice. Did I have a choice?
Oh man.
What are we doing? Did you quit on me?
I didn't quit on you. He's gonna bomb one deep on you. It's just so you know. Get back. Fumble. Ooh. Time out.
Guinness.
Change your coach adjustments to all aggressive. Go.
And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
That's the most rookie move I've ever seen in my life.
What's that?
You go 2 clicks to get too aggressive every time when you can just do 1 click.
What, left?
Classic, yeah. Classic.
How would I know that?
And exactly. And that's the problem.
Now they try the right side.
Time out.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in.
Can I try and sauce him up here real quick for you?
No, tell me the buttons.
They get the officials'
4-3 over.
attention and take another timeout.
You're so pathetic.
Stop the clock here.
Really, it's pathetic.
Well, I thought it was going to be out of this setup.
No.
Yeah, I know. How would I know that?
Don't hit the buttons early.
Third down, it's Prescott.
Screen.
And some strong running. Looking deep
Are
in
you
the field.
are you on crack?
This is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10.
It's a touchback, baby.
Yes!
That's a touchback.
Let's go! Let's go! Yeah!
That's good D.
Oh, X under. You call X under. This is the play you flamed for last weekend.
What do you mean?
Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened.
That's good user.
Holy smoke-a-moly.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete.
All right, what do you got for me?
The intended
We're just
receiver
running
is
rogue at this
David
point, so
Johnson.
I mean, you quit on me, so what do you want me to call?
Brandon, at least
Maybe
there's
good
one
idea.
bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
You're a nice guy. That was kind of
What are the
savage.
setups here?
Correct. No pick, just incomplete.
What should I do
that
instead?
time.
You won't tell me because you quit on me.
There you go.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers.
Hey guys, Gibs said that wouldn't work.
Johnson here on the catch. And he gets it
That's my best pass of the game, but Gibs said it won't work, so I won't do it.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Crash.
I know most of the time when the
Garbage.
ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any.
Hey guys, Gibs said that wouldn't work, but
The sideline
it's
and
my
Yeah.
second best completion of the game.
This is that won't work. You're starting to pass. Those are the things you're starting to trust passing. Good things happen when you pass.
What are you gonna do here?
Drag Gronk, Aiden Johnson.
One more.
Actually, Fade Johnson. With this, they like to hit Jones in that. There it is, yeah.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down.
I think he quit on me, Rev Trev.
And
He's sitting here, but he's got his arms crossed.
We'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to
Johnson.
play.
Block Gronk. Motion on.
Gronk,
Drag
the tight
Brown.
end in motion. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be eccentric in their blitzes, or they're
All right, just need quick 30 here.
Punt it. Just punt it.
TD,
Just punt
onside
it.
kick.
Just punt it.
Incomplete.
No.
Just punt it.
You want me to quit?
No, I want you to punt it.
That sounds like quitting.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
You think that will get picked up?
Okay.
Should I block Beckham?
Can't.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. The Dolphins get there this time. And they
Mean Joe Green?
Yeah.
It's not very nice.
We got a lineman issue.
And that'll
lineman
be just
issue.
about all she wrote for this.
We have an all-gold team because I'm man of
Great
people.
spot to start this drive from here. Gonna give this time to the tailbacks.
You gonna take a timeout?
Short gain
Yep.
here down to the
Field goal.
22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. With every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier.
You know, I fought pretty hard. I wish we could all say that, but
I fought very
some
hard.
of us
I fought very hard.
didn't do that. This was 4th and 11, so this pick doesn't count, basically. Also, I probably should have caught that. Dropped by Rob Gronkowski, 0 for 1. Then he got this 4th down conversion, which I didn't fancy very much. And then we were driving. He got a fumble. Because I didn't slide. Okay. And this was the play of the day. I don't know.
What happened
He
there?
threw it, tried to throw it to somebody. I think I just, and then AJ BOUYYEEEE scooped and scored.
Booyah, booyah.
That was exciting.
Oh, booyah, now.
Then right before the half, this was just too much. I mean, we had a guy. BOUYYEEEE, you gotta make that play for me, bro. This on 4th and 2. I mean, really?
Can we not do this part? This is the worst part of the show.
This is where I have to go back and show why I didn't lose as bad as you thought I lost. You're telling me Gronk's not going to be open on that like crossing, like once he gets behind here? Like you're telling me I can't throw it to Gronk right on the 40, like we talked about? Gronk, really Gronk? Oh, Farls, that was a bad read. Farls, why didn't you throw the drag? Farls, why didn't you throw the drag? Because he was usering the drag.
Doesn't look like it.
Are you kidding me? Farls, come on, man. Come on. This?
Should have run commit.
I mean, I had to throw that. There's not a long time left. That's how it works.
All right, guys. Until next week.
That's it.
We're going to do dual games a week next week. We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah. All right. If that's what the crowd wants. That's what the crowd's going to get.
Till next time.
That is it, guys. Make sure you
let's
go
find someone
over,
to...
follow the channel. We're going to raid somebody. You can always check out these videos tomorrow. If you missed anything, youtube.com/Sgibs. Go there for some schemes. youtube.com/Zfarls. We'll post the clips. So if you have any questions, make sure to go over there, review all the footage.
Oh, Statch is
and
streaming.
See what's going on. We got M-Stack. Let's go see where that channel is. Directory. We will be on this week at different times, so make sure to follow. You'll get notified for free when we go live on the channel. And do that. Let's go find that man. I am not. Check. Did you quit on me, Gibs?
No.
Did
How
you quit
many
on me?
not viewers does he have?
I don't know.
Is he really streaming? First of all, is he really
No,
streaming?
he's not. Alright, so next up, what about hot sticks?
Who's got a face cam low?
Let's go find a low man with a face cam.
Oh, how about that guy Beachy? Beachy?
Beachy?
Yeah, to the right, down,
To the
down.
right, to the right. Merksta.
Beachy. He's got a face cam.
Beach Street. Beachy.
Yeah,
Alright, let's go.
we're going to Beachy.
/host.
Stack is streaming,
Where?
bro.
Yeah, I know. I just searched his name in the directory. Did you not see me do that?
I did.
Search F stack M Statch. Statch. STACH MSDACH.
All right, go back to the dashboard. I'm sure they're gonna tell you. Oh my God, people, what is it?
What is it?
It's probably some
It's
ridiculous
MStack
thing.
42. Yeah, that's what
All
I'm
right,
searching for. Boom, it's in my bookmarks because I've done been here.
Okay,
Okay.
looks buttery smooth too.
Looks like it's 60 frames.
See, look at everyone in the chat just goes, look, he's uncoachable.
I'm super coachable. All right, guys. Peace out. Until next time.